Yo, what's going on? I'm Donald Nelson with Supreme Confidence. You listen to today's episode of Confidence in the Klutch podcast on the Confidence in the Klutch Network. Special edition MKE Chosen Few interview series. Whether it's the game of basketball or the game of life, you got to have confidence in the clutch. Practice makes confidence. Pressure makes diamonds. Stay sucker free. Keep it a buck. Stay woke and get out. Gold ball or bust. You can't fit in when you're standing out. Listen on Apple Podcasts, Google Play Music, YouTube, and at confidenceintheclutch.podbean.com. Subscribe, rate, and review. That bell button to get notifications of new episodes is important. Visit us on Facebook, Confidence in the Klutch. Follow us on Twitter and Instagram at K and the K. I have the pleasure of having my brother, my friend, Freddie Riley with me. We're going to get into a whole bunch of joints, y'all. The confidence starts right now. 3, 2, 1. Confidence on 3, in the clutch on 6. 1, 2, 3.
Confidence.
4, 5, 6.
In the clutch.
Confidence in the clutch.
Freddie, what's going on, bro?
Hey, what's up, Don?
Number love, man.
Yes, sir.
Long time coming, man. I've been asking
Yes,
this brother.
sir.
He was one of the first brothers I asked. I need you. We need this. Like I tell everybody, this part of Confidence in the Klutch is where I salute all the people that's important in my estimation to the city, what they've done, their playing careers in high school, college, and if they turn coaches. This brother has done it all. He's done all three of those. Freddie, push that blue button so we can go live for these people for a little bit. Let them see what's cracking. We good. Okay. All right, let me run down y'all brother, Freddie Riley. Let me run down a couple stats for y'all. High school with the Hamilton, 88 to 92. 2 state appearances in 90 and 92. So you went with some people from my block. I live on 28th and Burleigh, Freddie. We'll talk about it, though. But James and Droop.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Greg Washington.
Yeah. So he lived right next door to me, man.
Scott.
Yeah. College, Shasta. Community college out in Cali.
Community college.
All right. 92 to 94. He was inducted into the Hall of Fame in 1998. Sacramento State University from 94 to 95. North Dakota State University, 95 to 98. Coaching. Vincent Girls from 02 to 04 as a JV coach. Malcolm X Girls, 04 to 06 as the assistant and head coach. North Division Boys, 06, 07 assistant. Hamilton from 07 to 11 as assistant. 2 state appearances, by the way. Washington Boys, 2011 to the present. Now, this is when it get tricky. This is when it gets to people need to shut up because I don't think you're doing what this brother did. There's only a couple that have done more than this, all right? Just let me run it down to you. Record overall as a head coach, 137 and 46 for 74%. In the city, overall 73 and 10 for 88% conference winning percentage. 3 city conference players of the year, 24 all city conference selections, 20 all area selections, 5 all state selections, 4 conference championships, 13, 17, 18, 19. 5 regional championships, 13, 16, 17, 18, 19. Come on, man. Y'all ain't listening. Y'all not listening, yo. 3 sectional championships and state tournament appearances, 3 in a row, 17, 18, 19. 2 state runner-ups, 18, 19. 2 times city conference coach of the year, 13 and 18. Teacher, mentor, coach, father, brother, son, my friend, Freddie Riley. Welcome to the show, bro.
Man, thank you, Don.
All love, man. That resume, just shut up. Just shut up. Can't nobody say nothing. No, that resume. I love that resume, man. That's volumes on each level that you worked at. Freddie, did you play professionally, though?
No, I had some tryouts.
Okay.
I had a couple of free agent tryouts. Didn't work.
Okay.
Man, just the experience was life-changing for me. Helped put some things in perspective for me that, I knew basketball wasn't going to last forever or it'd last for a short period of time. I was grateful that I was raised by some great parents and I had some great mentors that always expressed education to me. And I never really took education serious, in high school. But I knew it was kind of important. So I was doing it because I had to be eligible for basketball.
Okay.
And I really wasn't even a big sports guy growing up. I was a funny guy, quiet and funny around the house and stuff like that. Cause I had 3 sisters. I have 2 brothers, but they were raised down south. Okay. And I just had my sisters growing up. So we always we did crazy things to make things funny around the house, keep us interested, the basic things like you play church,
Right.
you know,
Play church.
you play church. You know, I had my preacher going on. I thought I was a pretty good preacher, mimicking our preacher at the time.
Okay. Great church.
You know, we played games outside. You know, just all the little kid stuff. You know, and then I went to Silver Spring Neighborhood Center.
Okay. Okay.
I got introduced to a man, a great man, became a very instrumental mentor in my life. Bobby Ricardo, rest in heaven, his soul. And he taught me what it was like to be a man, being responsible, how to prepare, how to set goals, how to be humble. How to be respectful. You know, he taught me a lot of things. These were such things that was already being, you know, said in the household. But sometimes when you hear it outside the household, it have a little bit more, you know, impact on you.
Word.
Saying, because, you know, you say moms, you know, raise you and just moms just want you to do it because it's moms, just the way, you know. But then when you get outside the house and what moms is preaching, you hearing other people saying, no, this is the way it's supposed to go. Then, you know, it makes you say, okay, well, this is probably the way it need to be.
Right.
Mom said it, and then now he's saying it, and I respect and love both of them. I got to align myself accordingly.
Right.
So I got introduced to sports out at Silver Spring Neighborhood Center in West Lime. I think I was like 11 years old, playing with 13-year-olds. I was in basketball. Wasn't even my first love, man.
Okay.
I started playing basketball till I think I was like 12 or 13, man.
Okay.
I was playing football, man. Football was my first love. I thought I was going to the NFL, and I thought I was good at it. And a couple other coaches thought I was pretty good at it too. My high school coach thought I was pretty good at it. But the crazy thing about it was I didn't get offered scholarships in football like I did basketball.
Okay.
So it kind of made my life do a little curve, and I ended up taking basketball more serious when I was just playing it for a hobby.
Right,
you know, all
right.
my guys was really basketball players. I remember clear as day, a good friend of mine, Kenny Brown, we call him Monk. He was going to these camps, man, and he went to Metro Index, and you know, at the time, you know, we was inner city kids, we really didn't have no money,
Right.
And but Kenny dad worked for Coca-Cola, and you know, his family, they were able to provide opportunities for him that some of us couldn't. So Kenny would go out and see these things, go to the camps and stuff like that. He always come back to it and tell us like, hey man, listen, you know, we'll see him with the camp stuff, and we'd be like, man, we want that,
Right.
you know. So he'd start telling us like, hey man, I went to this camp, I can, you know, let's sign up for this. And I ended up going to the camp the following year. But it was Kenny dad who was taking him up to Vincent when they had the Vincent leagues. It was Kenny dad who took him to the Metro Index camp. You know, we didn't know anything about that stuff.
Right.
You know, we was project kids. We was playing at Silver Spring. We thought that was like, you know, the Mecca. You know, we thought it was Madison Square Garden. We thought it was, you know, the Great Western Forum, you know, at
Right.
the time. So we didn't really see no needs to go play nowhere else.
Right. Right.
You know, and I met a good group of dudes who we still bonded to this day. You know, one guy put me on the bike and said, man, we going down and driving across town. We went down to 29th Street.
Oh man.
I met the great late Daryl Banks, rest in heaven his soul. I met Will Wade, who has become a great mentor of mine in my life, and then Mark Wade, who has become like a surrogate father to me. Like,
Word,
you know,
word.
he stepped in, like, you know, Mark guided me a lot. I linked on Mark and Daryl and Will a lot when I was young, along with Bobby Ricardo. So, you know, basketball took the forefront of my life.
Okay.
And it's just been all uphill since then. I've been, my life, it's been good to me.
Okay.
I feel I'm blessed, and not blessed in my finances, but blessed in having a peace of mind, blessed in having people around you that love you and support you, blessed in being able to provide for, you know, my family. I feel blessed in that way.
Okay.
So, you know, that's kind of how the basketball thing got started, and it's been all just kind of uphill since there.
Okay. How old were you when you first touched that ball? How old were you?
Oh man, I think I had to be at least maybe 12 going on 13.
Okay. Okay. Because it was football.
It was football, man. It
Word,
was all football
word.
for me.
Word. Now you see, you
Now
12.
let me say this though.
Okay.
With football though, people didn't understand the reason why I kind of played football. I was the only boy at the time growing up in the projects. And, you know, if you're a boy in the projects, you're the only boy, you get picked on a lot. You got to fight.
Right.
You got to fight. You ain't running home. What you going to grab your sisters?
Right.
So, you know, I used to have to fight a lot, man. Football was a way of me taking out my anger and aggression.
Okay, cool.
I can hit somebody, I can hurt somebody, and there's no penalty.
Okay.
You know, so a lot of my aggression, I took it out on the football field.
Okay.
So that's where my aggression and you know, that stuff come from, you know, growing up, and you have to bottle stuff in, but then you get a chance to release it in sports.
Word. Now, when did you fall in love with the game of basketball? It had to, you know, when did you fall in love? Like, I really love this joint.
Man, I think I fell in love with basketball around the age of maybe right when I got introduced to it, about 13, 14 years old. It was a guys. We had a Pro-Am league at Silver Spring, and we used to see the likes of, you know, Bay Lou and them growing up, and, you know, Lindsey and Chucky Johnson, and, you know, the list just goes on of great guys that was out there playing at the time, man. And I saw these dudes playing, and they get at it. I remember People's Lounge and them, they used to, man, come in there, they used to play, and them dudes was at it. I mean, it was fierce competitiveness, man. Like, you know, and I like that, you know, because I'm a competitor, man. I mean, in the worst way, people talk about Jordan competitiveness. I got a lot of that brewing in me, man. Like, I'm very competitive in anything I do, man. I hate coming in second. I hate coming in third. I hate not being on top. That really burns me. And really, I use that as motivation to fuel me. Right. You know, but I saw that, and I said, man, dude, like, basketball, it's like, okay. And then, you know, you go from watching them play Pro-Am to, you know, they had times the gym was open, like we was young. So our time ended at like 6 o'clock, 5 o'clock, because we had to go eat hot supper, get home, do homework and all that stuff. We used to sneak in the gym and watch the teens play. You know, the teens would play from like 6 to 9, you know, or 7 to 9. We'd go in there and watch the teens play. And I used to see Antonio Spinks, man, like he was the first, like, you know, before Penny and all them dudes, he was our Magic Johnson. Okay. You know, I saw Antonio Spinks. I saw guys growing up, Rick and Boo, Ricky Shea, white guy, playing in the projects with all these, and he got game. He was the first white chocolate. You know, we seen him out in Westlawn. You know, and then like kind of like not too far removed from me, I saw my cousin Scott Spinks. I saw Dwayne Sweet Hands Mitchell. Okay. You know, and then like was like a couple of years older than me. Like we saw Ellis Turn team. Man, we saw underneath them. And I think what really sold me that got me when I saw Calvin Rayford and Jamal Turn team. Okay. I saw that backcourt and I was just like, oh my goodness. We was playing AFY. I think I was maybe like 13. I ain't had no business being on the team. But I just think like, you know, Bob, he just felt like took me under his wing and he felt like I needed that. Right. And he put me on the team. And I gotta say this. Let me say this, man. The first guy I met in Westlawn that I hung out with, my very first friend before I met my crew, was Terrell Ragsdale, man. Okay. And Terrell kind of, you know, took me under his wing and got me acclimated with Westlawn. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Got to get acclimated with Westlawn. Yeah. He knew everybody. Everybody respected Terrell. And he kind of, you know, I became his friend, his little brother, and I think I got kind of accepted quick through Westlawn because of Terrell. Okay. But yeah, he was the first one to take me to Silver Spring Neighborhood Center, man. Yeah, it was just, you know, man, it's just fun. It became fun to me, man, and it you know, it just fueled me, and you know, seeing Cal and them, you know, just play, a guy that small, control the game, and Jamal Turntine, a guy who was a heavyset guy who just controlled the game like that. And I'm like, man, I want to learn to do this stuff. So I watched them a lot. Okay. You know, I told, you know, Coach T, Jamal Turntine, he worked on my staff now as assistant coach, my top assistant. But I used to tell him growing up, man, like, we looked up to y'all. Mm-hmm. You know, y'all was our idols growing up. Mm-hmm. You know, we'll see Cal. We'll see Boo. We'll see Mark Mitchell. We'll see Brian Gardner. We'll see Keith Stewart. Mm-hmm. We'll see Getty. We'll see Charles Luter. We see all these guys, man, and like, you know, just seeing them play, man. Silas Mills and them, dude, man. Carmen Bell and Marcus Hines and you know, all these dudes, Von McDay and them, man, like I can go on and on, man, like
Right.
the great basketball
Right.
players that I saw, that I've been blessed to see growing up, man, that helped me really respect this game, learn the history of it, you know, try to get my craft right.
Right.
I give a lot of homage or respect to those guys, man, because those were the dudes who really, you know, fueled me.
Right,
You know,
right,
I
right.
saw them never take the game for granted.
Okay.
They always respected the game, played the game the right way. You always see them respectful to coaches. You always see them to their peers. They was competitive, but after the game, they hung out with them. You know, always seen them like shaking kids' hands or hugging kids, and I wanted that, man.
Yeah,
I'm like,
yeah,
ooh,
yeah.
you know, because I grew up watching football. Like I always saw football players doing that,
Right,
and
right.
I didn't see basketball players doing that. I was all like, okay, this sport is sort of like football. You got
Right.
the same type of rewards
Right.
in basketball as you can football, and
Right.
I think that's what gravitated me and pulled me all the way in.
Right, no doubt. Shout out to everybody that's on Facebook Live. We appreciate the support. I ran down your accomplishments, but personally, I wanted to hear from you. What are your accomplishments on and off the court? Like, what are your biggest accomplishments?
As a person or as a coach?
Man, both.
As a person, man, graduating, man.
Okay.
Graduating from high school, graduating from college, because that wasn't the thing.
Okay.
You know,
Yeah.
our guys was becoming part of gangs. They were involved in street activity, whether it was selling drugs or whatever it may be. That wasn't the usual route for guys at the time. It wasn't attractive. It wasn't sexy to be educated. It wasn't sexy to graduate.
Word,
it wasn't
word.
sexy to go to class.
Right.
But I knew, my mom told me when I was young that, you know, education is your salvation. You know, if you want to make it out of this situation, you want to make life better for you, you want to make life better for your family, you have to get your education. You know,
Absolutely,
they
absolutely.
can take basketball away from you, they can take sports away from you, they can take whatever. They cannot take away, you know, your knowledge.
Absolutely. On the court.
On the court, I had a lot as a player. I had a lot as a coach, but I say as a player, I would have to say early, winning AFY, the back-to-back when I was very young at LeVar Way. I remember we used to walk in the gym and they used to have a sign, Sour Hands. They used to have a sign, Milkshake, Sea Girl, you know, winning that young. And then fast forward a little bit to high school, going to state twice as a sophomore and as a senior, experiencing that. And then as a player in college, getting inducted into my Hall of Fame, you know, my college Hall of Fame. And I mean, early.
Right,
I mean, you got to
right.
think, I left Shasta in 94.
Right.
I was inducted in the Hall of Fame in 98.
Yeah, that's work. That's what work looked like.
You know.
That's when you put in work. That's what it looked like. We ain't waiting. We'll
Yeah.
give it to you now so you can see it.
I mean, I had a great freshman campaign that I think helped spearhead that and them deciding to induct me into the Hall of Fame or make me a nominee for the Hall of Fame. My freshman year, playing with two other guys from Milwaukee, Daryl Greer, who was very good, man. D-Ham was a talent. And then rest in heaven, Damian Adams. He went to Tulsa West, and those guys that were out there with me. I remember my freshman year, Daryl go down. We playing at Feather River out in California. Daryl go for 34, I go for 35, and he get hurt that game. We played Lansing Community College. That's where Tracy Gross and Dino Bell went, but they weren't there at the time.
Okay.
They came a year later.
Okay.
We played them. They were ranked 13th in the country at the time. And I'm a freshman, and they talking about this guy named John, top PG and this and that.
Right.
And I go out there and we playing them at their gym.
Right.
And after we just played, you know, the night before.
Right.
In junior college, that's how it worked. You play Friday and Saturday.
Okay.
So, man, I'm like, Daryl down, man. I'm nervous. I'm like, we about to get blew out.
Word.
We can't win without Daryl.
Word.
You know what I'm saying?
Word.
And man, my competitive spirit kicked in, man. Once the game got going, man, a couple of shots hit. Next thing you know, man, the coach giving me the green light. I go for 57. You know, I hit 10 threes in that game. I think we scored 107 points for the game. I had over half the points. And I think that was a highlight of my career. That getting selected to the All-State team as a freshman. Making all tournament in Reno as a freshman. A junior college All-American in California as a sophomore. We win our conference championship as a sophomore. And then I just say that was a heck of a career for me. And then to go to Sac State, and man, I thought that was really my point where I thought this is my break.
Okay.
I had the opportunity to go to a lot of different schools, man. I was heavily recruited coming out of high school. I was a McDonald's All-American honorable mention coming out of high school. I played for Rick Cobb at the time. It was only 2 AAU teams here.
How it should be now.
It was 2, only 2. Right. One here,
right.
Rick Cobb ran it, and then the other one was in Racine. St. Clair ran that one.
Right.
And I mean, you take all the Cole basketball players. I was one of the ones selected by Rick Cobb, so that said volumes about you know where my game was at.
Rick Cobb and then the Suburban Cats had Moving Shoes. Remember Moving Shoes on North Avenue?
Yep. I showed do. But they were small though.
Yeah, they were small. But them the only ones you knew back in the day.
Yep, they was very small. But we didn't have like now. You got so many teams you could bounce around these guys running every team or whatever. It was only a handful of teams, and those guys handpicked you. You really had to be the cream of the crop to play for them. Right. And I felt privileged that Rick Cobb, considered me. Yeah. When I knew it was a whole bunch of other guys that, I'm out of Westlawn, like,
right.
They don't really just come get us from out there.
Right. That meant a lot back in the day. These kids don't understand. Like, you had to earn that.
Yeah.
That was earned.
Yeah.
I don't remember too many politics with that. Like, you really had to be cold.
You really did.
It wasn't all right, being all right. You had to be cold.
You really did.
Word.
And I just say like, I thought I was going to take off at Sac State.
Okay.
And because I had Don Newman, he was the assistant coach for the Bucks.
Okay.
And he was also the assistant coach for the San Antonio Spurs.
Okay.
But Don played in the pros himself. He played for the Celtics back in the days. He from Louisiana. Him and Michael Blunt played for the Lakers. They was our coaches at Sac State. And he was going to put the ball in my hands. Me and my teammate from Shasta signed with him. And then, man, I go through a really... It just hurt. I would go through a car accident.
Okay.
We going to visit Butte in Chico. Anybody in California know about Chico? Shout outs to Chico. They was the #1 party school at the time when we was there. We went to Butte, and anybody know about Butte? That's where Aaron Rodgers from.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers was a quarterback up there. We played, and Jason Smith from Juneau went to school out there.
Okay.
We played against Jay Smith and them. We went to go visit Chico, man, and I'm in a passenger seat laid back, seatbelt on, and my guy was from Milwaukee, Stu. He was going to Sac State, and we linked up with him when I ended up signing up there. And he's all like, man, let's go party. And if anybody been out to California, you driving on I-5, especially in Northern California, ain't no lights on the highway. You know what I'm saying? Ain't no lights whatsoever. Like, we got lights on the highways and all that. There's no lights, it's just the headlights. And it was foggy that night. Stu kind of fell asleep behind the wheel, and then it was a white male, older guy, probably in his 70s, driving. He crossed over in the Cadillac car into our lane, and we went head up with him. And then there was a semi from behind, smacked us, and shot me through the windshield, man. So that's where this one come from.
Okay.
I had like 50-some stitches, man. Half my body was paralyzed. Man, I really wasn't even supposed to make it. I was supposed to be dead. I'm not even supposed to be here having this interview. I ain't supposed to have none of that success you read, none of that, man. I ain't even supposed to be here. And through the grace of God, man, he felt that, he had some work for me to do, and he pulled me through. But what scared me to where I didn't stay at Sac State, where I felt that was really my opportunity, is my mom, she don't fly.
Okay.
She don't fly at all. She's scared of flights.
Okay.
And she couldn't get out there to see me, man. That scared me.
Right.
That I could have died out there and never seen my mom again or whatever. So I made a decision to transfer. I went to North Dakota State. And that's funny how that came about because, man, I was getting recruited by them in high school, and I used to get the mail, be like, man, with North Dakota State, I'm tossing the mail, just laughing at it like, man, I'd never go there. I'm looking for Duke, Kansas, Kentucky, UCLA, I'm laughing, tossing it, and not really understanding. Right. And but it's crazy how God brings things full circle. And I was at home when I transferred back, And I really didn't have a school to go to, but me and Ewell Clinton, we've been friends ever since playing 8 to 12 at 2-9. You know what I'm saying? And Ewell had just left Mesa to go to North Dakota State. And they didn't have a point guard.
Okay.
And Ewell was telling Rick and the coaches, Rick Cobb to, make call for me. And Ewell was telling the coaches in North Dakota about me. I got a call from Tom Billiter. Coach B, I love you, man. You know it. I still stay in contact with him to this day. I met Coach B called me and he said, talk to me about the opportunity and said, if you want it, we'd love to have you, bring you on board. And at the time, I didn't have nobody else. I just went through a car accident. I believe no school really wanted to take a chance on me because of the injury and stuff like that. And he believed in me and gave me a chance. And I went to school at North Dakota State, had a really solid career there. Didn't have a career like I did at Shasta. And I believe part of that is because of that car accident.
Car accident, absolutely.
But one thing it made me do, put stuff in perspective about my education. I said, I'm not going to be used. I'm not going to get pimped. I'm going to make sure that I go back home with something.
Right.
And that degree was most important to me. So I graduated from North Dakota State with a BA degree and a human development and education. And I fell back on my degree. I still wanted to pursue basketball without a doubt because the passion was in my heart.
Right.
So when I graduated, I tried out for some teams and stuff like that. It just didn't work.
Right.
Just didn't stick, man. You get invited to a free agent, then you get to go to some veteran camps, but nothing never stick because you already got 9-10 guys with contracts and stuff like that, and you got 30 dudes fighting for 2 spots, and playing with small guards at that time back then was unheard of.
Right. All day.
You know what I'm saying? So that wasn't attractive. So I'm glad I got my education. I'm glad my mentors and them made me see the light that education was important for me, that I could fall back on it. And I mean, look at to this day, it's feeding my family. I get a check, I got insurance, I get a 401k.
Absolutely.
You can't complain about that. So
absolutely,
I'm rich in faith, I'm rich in love, I'm rich in education. So I'm cool with that, man.
Right. So that's exactly what basketball has done for you. That was going to be the next question. So that's exactly what basketball has done for you. Now, Freddie, what's the furthest basketball taking you?
Well, right now, it's taking me to be a coach of the year coach.
Yeah.
It has taken me to be a city conference coach.
Yeah.
It has taken me to coach All-Americans,
yes.
All conference players, all area, all state players.
Yes, sir.
It has taken me to be instrumental in helping guys chase their dreams and goals. Whether if it's just graduating from high school, being a productive citizen in our community, our society, or if it's going on and chasing their dream and playing Division I college ball or some type of college ball or even professional basketball. So I'm just blessed, man.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
I'm blessed,
yes, sir.
Truly blessed.
Yes, sir. Do you still play?
I get this question all the time, man, and I see a lot of these leagues going on, and I see a lot of the players still get after it. I kind of kid Keon a lot, man. Larry Mitchell, another coach of mine on my staff, because Keon, he refused to hang it up.
Man.
And he still get after it pretty good, but he refused to hang it up. Injuries, whatever. He could be on one leg, he's still playing.
Right.
I told Key, man, I said, I hung it up in 98, man, and that's where I'm going to leave it.
98?
Hung it up in 98, man. I did my last tryout. It didn't work. I came home. I said, I'm done. I'm a teach.
Okay.
So whether if it was teaching in the classroom or teaching AAU or coaching high school, whatever it may be, I'm teaching the youth. I'm giving back.
Okay. What's your favorite basketball moment as far as anywhere, any level, or best highlight of your career? What is it?
A highlight moment? Best basketball moment.
I mean, you touched on it earlier about, you had the number one guard and all that, but I'm sure now you've been talking, other stuff come too.
I think my best basketball moment, man, was like just real talk, man. I'm a public city kid, man. I'm a Milwaukee Public School product. I'm an inner city kid, man. I'm a single parent. I come from a single parent home, man. Growing up, just to play in front of your moms, your family.
No doubt.
Like that. Like if you want to see Fred Riley put on the show, you put Agnes Marie Wallace right in front of them stands. You put Reginald Wallace right in front of them stands. You put any one of my siblings in front of them stands, and I'm going to put on the show for you, man.
Absolutely.
I probably played my best ball when my family was at the games. I really got enjoyment and try to please my family, man. My family, I'm a family-orientated guy. Family means everything to me, man. I die for my family. I go to jail for my family.
Absolutely.
And whatever it is, I'm a family guy, man. And maybe that's why you know, a lot of my players, we tight the way we are because they get that sense of family from me.
Right.
You know, I'm really family orientated, man. Like I love my family to death. I don't talk to them as much as I should, but I don't talk to many people much, unless it's about basketball.
Absolutely.
You know, or giving them a message, a life message. I
Yes,
just
sir.
don't shoot the BS with people just to pass time or whatever like that.
Yes, sir.
I try to empower you. So if I'm going to talk to you, I'm going to give you something fruitful that you can take with you, not just be BSing the time, man. And I find that's what a lot of people do now, just want to talk to people to BS the time until it's time to go here, time to go do this and that.
Right,
and then
right,
you
right.
leave and it's empty, nothing.
empty.
And I just decided not to be one of them people. So I think mine was with my family, man.
Okay,
You know, they come
okay.
to the game, you get the best. And when you saw the best, it was because they was there.
Absolutely. That's all good. Is compare and contrast to now, we coach a lot of kids, they play for their friends. Because they behavior on the court, the stuff these children do now, we would never do in the game. We would never raise our voice. You know what I'm saying?
I'm going to
There's lots
say
of
this.
things
I don't
we
have a
did.
problem with them playing for the people that they know support them.
Right.
But it has to be a fine line.
Right.
A fine line addressed where friends, family can't overstep boundaries.
Absolutely.
And then as a player, you can't forget,
Yes.
you know, what you've been held accountable to.
Absolutely,
You know,
absolutely.
so I think the line has been crossed so many times to where it looks bad.
Mm-hmm.
But really, I mean, you want family and loved ones there supporting you.
Right.
Mom and dad can't get there. You got 5 of your homies from
Well,
the hood.
that is the family.
You know,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
I can't knock that. I just say that, man, they have not been taught the correct way, man.
Absolutely. So favorite, let me see. What's your most painful or hurtful basketball moment? Oh yeah.
Man, take your pick. I've been to the state tournament 2 as a player.
Word.
I went 2 with Hamilton. I went 3 with Washington.
Okay.
I've been to the state tournament with 7 times and I ain't got a gold ring.
Okay.
That is my most, just can't. I'm like, man.
Right.
You know, I'm fighting, man. I'm
Right,
fighting, D.
right. I
I'm
know.
fighting, man.
I know.
I mean, it helps when you get the silvers and you got there the 2 last years, but I know it kills LeBron how much you put into it, man. See,
Mm-hmm.
people don't know. Like my staff know, my players know. The outside people don't know.
Okay.
You know, my lady will tell you flat out, dog. She'll tell you our family suffers sometimes because I put the team ahead of them. Everything, my life is the players.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? At Washington, you know, and my family gets neglected sometimes. And she's like, oh, well, that's your new family. That's your family. She teased me sometimes to be trying to give me the business.
Yeah.
But I know where her heart is. She loves what I'm doing. She supports what I'm doing. You know, you see them there at the game, my family there at the game. But a lot of, man, I sacrifice so much for my kids. I sacrifice so much, man.
Yeah. People don't know. That's the stuff you won't see. You don't want people don't talk about that on social media. They don't understand as a head coach. This is 365. This just ain't from November to March, but from November to March, yeah, the house is a little bit more crazier. There's a couple things I ain't paying attention to like that, but you know, you always take care of your people in your house. Oh, but it's a different thing. Even they know how to move around you during basketball season and all that. And you try to do all you can.
It's just
in that
being
lead up.
respectful. They respect what you do and try to be supportive, man. And my support base been good with me, man.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, if they ain't support me, there's no way I could have the success I'm having. There's no
Absolutely.
way I could been in this business as long as I've been in without the support of them, man.
Absolutely.
So, you know, I tip my hat to them. I thank them. I know they my biggest supporters. I know they riding with me. But, you know, it's tough. It's tough, man, because, you know, a kid called, he need a coat.
Yep.
He ain't
Yeah,
ate.
man, tell me
He
about
need
it.
a ride
Tell me
here.
about it.
You
Tell
know
me
what I'm
about it,
saying? It's
man.
hard for you to say, oh, I'm just about to watch this kid suffer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, and a lot of times parents, you know, of the players,
Yes.
they kind of give you some parent power. You know what I'm saying? Which sometimes it could be good, sometimes it could be bad.
Yes.
And
sir.
I've seen both sides.
Yes, sir.
But we as coaches, man, you know it, man. We take it.
Yes,
You know,
yes,
we
yes.
you know, we got sons. If you ain't never had a son, if you coaching a team, you do got sons.
Yep.
You know, them dudes look up to you. And I'm gonna tell you this, man. A lot of people think them players that you argue with, that you know didn't get along with as a player, they think a lot of times that them players don't like you.
Absolutely.
Man, they respect you more than anything. Because at the end of the day, they have not been taught, so they don't know how to receive it. But deep down in their heart, they know that's what was best.
Right, and you're challenging them. You're challenging them to be better.
Yeah,
You know what
and
I'm
they
saying?
love you for that, and you don't get that until they get older.
Till they get
and
older.
they come back and they tell you that stuff. You're not gonna get it at 15. You're
No,
not
you're
gonna
not.
get it at 22.
Nope,
But
nope.
when they get their own kids and they start to go through life and they've been a coach, come back, you'll get that phone call, that text, or when they see you, they'll hug you,
Yeah,
and you know,
yeah.
Coach, I love you, and you ain't never heard them say that before.
Right.
You know, so that's what I do this stuff for, man.
Absolutely,
I love that.
absolutely. Like, man, it's like shout out to everybody tuning in on Facebook. Everybody else that want to watch it, see everything else. We're gonna be on YouTube later. We still on Facebook Live for a little bit longer because we got to get to some other things. But shout out to Coach Doc Cunningham. She chiming in saying, coaches, we know we bigger. It's more than basketball. You know what I mean?
It always
we got to be
is.
bigger than basketball.
That's big sis.
Yeah, like I just real quick. This for Freddie Riley, man. This is for everything he's done for the city. You know what I mean? Like, people don't understand. Y'all really want to know what's going on? See this brother in the classroom. Like, try to come get a visitor pass at Washington. When you talk about competitive, like, I've been in the classroom a couple of times. He inspired me to run through the damn wall. I don't even play for him. I wasn't trying to get no grade from him, but I'm sitting there like, man, you know what I'm saying? So, man,
I got a motto, D. I'm not failing, man.
Right, absolutely.
And you can't fail on my watch.
Yes.
And, you know, we just talking about sis, man. Like, you know, you can pick up that phone and call her anytime, and she gonna give you the best advice, man.
Yeah.
You know, she gonna be supportive, and I've been blessed to have some good people. Billy, you know, Billy, you can call Billy anytime, man. People get on Billy butt about what he doing this and that, but one thing, Billy is a true brother, and he supports you, man. It's a lot of dudes who sit up here and they'll shake your hand and laugh in your face. I mean,
Right.
like, y'all cool and all that. You can go out to the club or whatever, or you can be sitting with him at a game or whatever, man. And then when you walk off, that ain't really how they felt.
Nope.
They just did it to save face value, man. And that's what we're dealing with a lot in this city, man. And it's becoming disgusting. Quite frankly, it's disgusting. It's killing our kids because they coming across people who want to help them and be supportive, but they can't see the realness in them. They can't see the people who want to really help them. All they can see is who's going to give me.
Right.
You know, I was never looked upon somebody as a mentor of me or the best influence on me because of what they gave me.
Absolutely.
You know, it was about, if they gave me something, it's the knowledge that I needed.
Yep.
Not necessarily the material stuff, man.
Right,
the
right.
material stuff come and go. Shoes, they gone in 30 days.
Yeah.
You know, they get the crease in them. You don't even wear them no more. Clothes, you start letting your friends wear them and all that. You don't value that stuff no more. So I never got off into people giving me material stuff. It was more about how can you empower me, man. That was
Okay.
most important to me.
Okay. All right. Love. Freddie, favorite teammates and coach. I know, but you give me a couple. I know, but see, look, I'm an interviewer, man. We interviewers ask tough questions. People want to know, Freddie.
Oh, man.
You want to know? Just give me, you can go levels. I don't know. You can go high school. You go,
I kind of look at that like how Kareem said when it's the GOAT.
okay.
How could you say it's one GOAT?
Right. No doubt.
You know what I'm saying? So when you say teammate, man, I had teammates that was really good on the court that'll go to war and I mean the battle with you, this and that. But then I had some teammates that's off the court, man.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Teammates, because I call people in the community that support you and down with you. Them teammates too.
Absolutely.
You know what
Absolutely.
I'm saying? So basketball teammates, man. I have had some great ones, man. I still talk to them today. Some really good teammates, man. I had some great ones in North Dakota, man.
Yeah.
Like, man, but one consistent that just keep popping up, man, no matter what. Ewell Clinton.
Yeah. You'll stay behind me on 28th if they stayed on 27, right behind me, man.
Ewell Clinton. I mean, think 8 to 12,
Yeah.
12, 14,
Yeah.
15, 17.
Yeah.
College.
Yeah.
And we still connected as adults. I'm
Yeah.
40, about to be 46 June 12th.
Okay.
One consistent name keep coming across repeatedly.
Yeah.
Ewell Clinton, whether if it's in community, whether if it's in sports.
Right.
So when you talk about the ultimate teammate, to me, he ranks right there, man.
Absolutely. Coach, you got a favorite coach?
Man, that coach me or that I worked with, or
Man, look, Freddie, I'm leaving it up into interpretation, bro.
I tell you this, man, Don Newman, man, like he opened my eyes to a lot of stuff, man. Man, Don was very impressionable on me, but if I was to say a coach, man, like it's two that just like how Ewell Clinton come up no matter what phase of life I've been in. These two have always been there. Bobby Ricardo,
Okay.
Jim Jones.
Okay. Jim
have
Jones from
always
Hamilton.
been there. And then like when you say just like, I don't look at like Mark and them, Mark Way, my 2-9 coaches, like them uncles, man, that's family. Like I don't look at them as coaches, man. They family, them uncles to me. But like just coach, you know, like mentor coach, like Bobby Ricardo, Jim Jones. I would have to definitely say is right there, man.
Okay, so you played Warner only for 2-9?
No.
Yeah, so who you play? who all you played Warner from? My Warner stint was very short. I was 2-4 to Crush. I was at 24. I only played 8 to 12, but that right there, still the memories of just saying you was affiliated.
I tell you, man, like it's been crazy. I started with 2-9. I left 2-9 at 15, 17, man, because you know, you kind of want to spread your wings. I love winning, man.
Right.
I love winning, and we had a great community. We had a great foundation built there at 2-9.
Yeah.
But I felt me personally, after going upstate as a sophomore, holding my own against the likes of Calvin Rayford. I mean, this dude was a god growing up. When they talk about basketball player, he was a god. And you be able to hold yours on a platform like that was upstate as a sophomore. I felt it was time I had to spread my wings a little bit. So I left 2-9 and I went to Atkinson. And I played down with the twins, Eric and Derek and Ty and Tyrone, and then Idris Hardrick, big man, and Dante from Mesmer. You know, we all played together, and we didn't win a lot of games. I think we probably went 500, man. I think Big Tree at the time started there, but then he left and went over to 20th.
Okay.
But man, we had a pretty good team, and it was family. You know, and I'm coming from Westline all the way down to Atkinson, man. And see, that's what I try to tell people, like, man, that's the beauty of being humble.
Right.
At first, a kid coming out the Westline at 11, 12, 13, never thought you would see nothing else but that.
Right.
A guy puts me on the bike and takes me to 29th and Melvina.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we ride
right.
bikes there every day.
Right.
You know, and then I go from there, you know, from playing with 2-9 to going to play at Atkinson. You know, I left Atkinson. I played for Sherman Park one year with Jason Smith and them. I left there, and ultimately where I ended up finishing was probably one of the next best spots, man. Like I played for Lincoln too. I can't remember that.
Man,
I
Freddie,
can't forget that. I played for Lincoln.
Playing half seasons, bro.
And then I was with the Rebels before they were the Rebels.
Okay.
I was with Green Bay, man.
Okay.
And we was calling him Uncle Pete then. It wasn't Vic Barnett, it was Uncle Pete. And I remember those guys, man, took me in, embraced me, man, and it felt so much like home. It kind of reminded me of the 2-9 atmosphere, the love, man.
Okay.
It was a family over there, man. They was together for real. And they brought me in, man. Charles Poe brought me over there. It was me, him, Shannon Smith, Jason Smith. You know, we had a really good team, man, over there. Terrell, Carter. We had a really good team, man. Vic did an awesome job with us, man, of keeping it going, empowering us as young African-American males. I don't know the effects that playing at over there would have on that community. I didn't know the effects of that.
Right.
I didn't even know the vision of what Vic was trying to do, but seeing it now,
Right. Yeah.
you know, and you think back,
Right.
when, you know, we was going to the little park and, you know, practices over there, and man, Vic is the GOAT here, man, like for real. But I just say, man, like I played a lot of places, man. I played a lot. I had the luxury. I was blessed. I think a lot of it was because of my humbleness, though, man.
Yeah.
You know, that allowed me to be able to go to different parts of areas of the city and be able to play and never had any problems.
All right. What was your favorite playground to play at? Mine was always Lincoln. Like Lincoln Park was always I love playing at Lincoln.
Well, no place like 2-9.
2-9, no? 2-9
I'll tell you this. I'm going to tell you, I think one came close. Rose Park, man. No, Columbia.
Okay.
Columbia, man, Zulu is something else, man. Like when we was playing on the playground, right? They reminded me of 2-9, man. Like it was dudes on top of the fence, man. Like people lawn chairs, people sitting on their houses watching these games, and dude, like, come on, man, that was the best.
Yeah.
I think the kids are getting robbed, man, because you had the community involved, man. I mean, they could come out. Where can you have people from your community go where it's safe?
Yeah.
You could bring another park from another neighborhood that probably those communities were rivals.
Right.
And you brought them two communities together, man, and the families, they barbecued, they ate, they fellowship, they did all that stuff together, and it was no problem. And you had kids there from 8 years old to 20 years old, and it was not a problem, man. Our kids are being robbed of that, and that's why we dealing with this situation in our community right now with these kids, because that love is not in the city like that no more. And we kind of miss it. You know, Vic trying to do it all by himself, Bobby and them, Bob from Northcott and Doc from Laverne Way and Bob Ricardo from Silver Spring, those guys ain't got, that next regime supposed to came in. Yeah, and I think our kids is kind of missing that, man. You talk about starting warning. You know what I'm saying? Mike McGee and them, and you talk about how Mark Wade and them talk about Banks and them, how they started that, man. You know what I'm saying? From drug dealers, man. Look how our drug dealers were invested in the community. They wanted something positive with the kids. Opposed to now, drug dealers are 18, 15, 17, 22, 23. They don't have a value of family.
No.
You know what I'm saying? They don't have a value of community.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we losing that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We had old heads tell us, man, you ain't got to go do this. I'll buy you these shoes. Just take your butt to class.
Absolutely.
You know, so I just think that humbleness and that love and that came from them different areas, man, you know, it allowed that. But you know what kept me humble, and you know, I got to see so many different things and meet so many different people from going around them different parks, man. I think that's what kept me level-headed too.
Yeah, the thing from warning, we must respect each other. We must respect each other. I mean, that's a hell of a statement right there. So that's why it always worked back in the day. We had our things when, like, the one ref got beat up, Bernard, right? You know, stuff happened.
But you ain't never heard of that.
You ain't never heard of it.
Heard it since.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I mean, I was there when it happened at 24th Street Park. It was some bogus calls, man.
Orange Crush, man. Like
you know what I'm saying?
I played.
So, shout out to TA the Wiz, man. Rest in heaven, man. TA the Wiz.
He's a good dude. He's a real good dude. Real good dude. What was your favorite go-to move encounter when somebody got your go-to move ready to go? We got you, Freddie.
Oh, man, I come down with a stutter step and I pull up in your face.
Man, the hardest move in basketball, ain't it? To me, when I was a youngin', they said Cal had that down to a science. Like, you wasn't stopping Cal because of that. He just fast as hell that you just pull up. You can't do nothing with it.
That's what. Look who I growed up watching.
To me, look at my guard. Freddie, look at my guards. That's what I taught them, though. All my elite guards that I done coached, they all got that.
A little hesitation.
That's it.
Pull up. You know, if not that, it's a hesitation between the legs. And hesitation was always in there because it froze them. Put them on their heels, man, and now they at your mercy. You know, so my hesitation was my strong point.
And man, you know what? The thing these kids don't have, because it's so much about to just shaking somebody. I always talk my players that if you dribbling in one spot, that means you can't handle. You got to be able to handle and move with it. You can do all this baka going east west. I'm a north south cat. If you ain't going north south past that rock, because you wasting time, and the defense is just flat footed standing there and they in hell position all day. You ain't moving them back towards that basket.
I really question how good is kids really ball handling skills, because I don't really see guys getting up defensively challenging them.
Right.
You know, these guys play off of them. So if you play off anybody who got a pretty decent skill set ball handling, they're going to put some work in on you. They're going to get you off and make a fool out of you. But, like, you got to think, when we played growing up, man, like, dude, if you had handles, okay, we gonna put them to the test. Let's see.
Right.
I'm gonna get you once or twice. I'm stripping you.
Right.
We getting up on you, pressuring. We had the Derek Harper. Right. Nowadays, everything is, he got a name. Man, I ain't gonna get up on him or his guys in the stand, and you intimidated, man. I was never intimidated. I was a sophomore going up against Cal Rayford.
Right.
I look forward to that.
Right.
You know, I look forward to Tracy Gross.
Right.
I look forward to Joe Hebert. I look forward to these guys, man. I was looking forward to playing these dudes. I didn't want to back down from nobody. It was a test of me. It was an opportunity for me to show them what I got.
Right.
I mean, people got to remember, man, I came out of John Muir Middle School. Basketball heaven, man.
John Muir Middle School.
You know what I'm saying? I argue this all day long, man. We didn't put some of the best. When you start talking about basketball players, man, some of the best basketball players came out of John Muir.
Right.
You know, now I ain't knocking Burroughs and Walker and some of these other schools. They had some great players.
Right.
But when you talk about longevity, when Willie Jackson was there,
right.
Nah, man, he produced the best out of the city, man. He produced the best. And I came out of middle school, man, and I wanted to go to a high school that wasn't a winning program.
Right.
I wanted to go somewhere and make a name for myself. So
You did
I
that.
heard about this African-American coach out at Hamilton.
You did that.
And I was all like, man, let's go there. We took our whole crew from middle school over to Hamilton.
And them Big 9 days, right?
Oh, yeah, man. Battles with Bayview, South, Tremper, Park. Oh, man, Park, some battles. And Bayview and South with some battles, too. But, man, I came in as a freshman. I remember telling Preston Johnson he was wearing number 30. That was my number. And Mark and them got us competitive like this because at 2'9", if two guys like the same number, you got to play for it.
Okay.
Ain't no I'm giving it to you because your big brother played for them or, you was here first or none of that. It's teaching you to be competitive.
Yeah.
So I remember I used to have to play Marty Mitchell at Lincoln Park for number 7.
Okay.
I wore number 7. I ended up wearing it.
Word.
But Marty was a hell of a player.
Absolutely.
But it was just that, we was competing for that. Mm-hmm. I took that same mentality at 12-14 over to Hamilton.
Okay.
And Preston Johnson was wearing 30. And 30, I wore 30 behind Bernard King because I thought Bernard King was a killer.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I liked the way Bernard played.
Right.
So I wore 30 and for Bernard King.
Right.
And Preston Johnson had it. And I'm like, you got to come up out of that, man. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And no disrespect to Preston, man. Preston a great dude, man. Really, he was a good dude. And wholeheartedly, man, good person.
Right.
And he was talented enough to be on the team. But as a freshman coming in, like how Kyrie felt coming in, I felt like I need that, man.
I need that.
Not just your jersey.
Right.
I need your minutes.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And I was just competitive, man. And that's just how I was. They taught us that, and I carried that everywhere I went, man.
Right. Yo, confidence in the clutch. We are feared more than hated. You know what I mean? No, we are feared more than hated. Well, I'll say I ain't got it down. We are feared, some. We respect, but we ain't never hated. I got to look at the end of the document. I'm having a good time. My brother, Freddie Riley, shout out to everybody on Facebook Live tuning in. You want to hear everything, want to see the visuals, want to hear the music in the background playing. Find me on YouTube, Confidence in the Clutch. It'll be uploaded later on tonight, early in the morning. Freddie, what was the best offense and defense you thrived in or disliked?
Whoa, man. I like pick and roll.
Yes.
I like pick and roll spread offense.
Okay.
But then also I like high-low situations too because if you got a good post, man, and he draw that attention, all you got to do is relocate.
Yep.
Inside out, no doubt.
Yep.
So I like high-low situations playing with good posts.
Right,
that
right,
can
right.
really know how to post and play right.
Okay.
And then I like playing with other guards that can shoot too. You come off pick and roll, you suck guys, you kick it to them for shots. I could play either type, man, because I grew up in the Midwest, but I played a lot of half-court ball growing up.
Yep.
But when I went out to the West Coast, man, it was nothing but open court. So I had to learn to adjust my game real fast, man. And coming back after I left the West Coast, coming back to North Dakota State, it was a more half-court game, East Coast game. So I think I'm a jack of all trades, man. I think I can play half-court. I think I can play open court. It didn't matter.
Okay. You didn't dislike anything. What about defensively? You're a straight man?
Hey, man, I tell you this. My friends they be killing me on this, dude. They always say, man, you never played no defense. Stop lying. Dude, I took great pride in defense, man. My friends be Pete, Dre, Shakes, Pork. Oh, man, they be killing me, man, talking about I never played no defense. Dude, I took pride in defense.
Word.
I really, if anything, me and Dre was the hackers out of our crew. When you
Word.
get beat up, scratches, bruises, all that after the game, man. But no, I took great pride in defense, man. I like man to man. I'm really not too fond of zones unless it's a press.
Okay.
I believe the heart and soul of a man lies if you could defend him mano a mano.
Absolutely.
And that's why I adapted that over at Virginia Tech, Buzz Williams mentality. You got to be able to defend a yardstick each way, man, before help come. Show me you care. You got pride and want to stop him.
Yeah.
And then if I see you struggling, it's help. It kind of reminded me when I saw the second championship run by Golden State.
Okay.
And I heard Draymond Green tell Kevon Looney, we know you can't guard him.
Right.
Do your best. We got you.
Absolutely.
And that's what I
That's
look
the problem.
for in players.
Players don't do their best. Part of it is once they get to us, Riley, they don't come with them fundamentals that they need to have. We got to spend so much time teaching. And what people don't understand, they're going to get better during the season with us from November to March, yes, but all the stuff they need to come with man, it take a lot to get them to get there. But that defense,
Man.
first off, you got to be a dog. You got to want to play defense, but you
Yes.
have to buy into the team defense. And some people like yourself said you don't like playing zones. My thing is, whatever situational. I got to throw everything at you as a coach, because one of them joints you ain't gonna be able to adjust to, because it's all about adjustments. And once that, we got your ass. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Like when I was upstairs, you know how it is upstairs. You can't press up there.
No.
You can't full court press. But
Can't be a double bonus before
you can't
halftime.
full court press up there. But you know what? You can 3/4 press. You can go up to shorten that court, because we used to playing on 10 feet less anyway. So it is what it is.
But we got athletes, man. They run all day long.
Yep.
So that's one thing about our kids in the city. They run all. They play basketball to sun up, sundown. Those dudes in better shape than what they think, man. But what happens where it look like they can't play on that floor because they don't take care of their body at night. They don't eat healthy. They don't get the proper rest that they're supposed to. So then it kind of looks like they exposed, like they not in shape and stuff like that. But really, our kids in better shape than what they think. We do more conditioning, more running than some of the other programs. Remember, upstate, a lot of them teams play slow basketball.
Yes, they do.
You know what I'm saying? They don't want a fast pace.
No, they don't want it.
You know what I'm saying? So we're in a lot better shape than what people think. But a lot of this is sacrificing.
Yeah, you got to sacrifice.
You got to sacrifice that night before, what you eating, what you taking in your body, the rest that you getting. That stuff plays a role.
Right. All right. Now, in the future, what would you like to do? Just period, just as a man. It ain't even got to be basketball related. If it is basketball related, like what can you see yourself want to do? You see, this is my baby. This is what I want to do in the future. Like this is me. What about you, Freddie?
Man, we have barbershop talks every Saturday. And shout out to Ebony 3 Barbershop on Appleton, man. My guy Greg, Isadore, Frank, Mike, all those guys over there, Van. Man, it's a great atmosphere, and we talk all the time about real stuff like this, man.
Okay.
And one of the discussions today, we was talking about downtown Milwaukee, how we need to be proud of how they rebuild in downtown Milwaukee, and how this looking, this and that. And I'm gonna play devil's advocate, because I'm about my city, but I'm more importantly about the people.
Okay.
The people is what make the city.
Absolutely.
And I told him, man, you can put all that stuff down there, that's fine, but if you don't never address the people, that's gonna be towed up in a certain amount of years.
Yep.
I don't believe in. I'm gonna just throw this out there. I was reading a stat, and they was talking about the average household income in Milwaukee is like $40,000, $50,000, $60,000, but then we have spent over $1 billion. $1 billion. Listen to what I'm saying here, man. You only making your household $40,000 to $60,000 each person. And a lot of them less than that.
Less than that, absolutely.
But we have spent over $1 billion.
We spend the most out of any group of people.
Like, where's the money?
It ain't with us.
Northridge out there, they not redesigning that out there, making nothing.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying? We talk about jobs here. What about jobs where you don't have to work 3 part-time jobs?
Right.
Where you could work 1 job, get off at a decent time to raise your family.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I told Greg, I said, where they taking the money, but not putting it back in.
But we ain't putting it back in. How come it could be?
That was my whole point.
On the south side,
that was my whole
point. You got
point.
all these Mexican restaurants. It's
How
Mexican
could you
food.
go down there and spend $3,000 a month going to the Mecca, going to this and that?
Yeah.
$3,000 a month.
Yeah.
But then you don't get that same people that you was down there drinking with, spending, eating, and laughing, giggling, all this. They don't come back, and they don't put that money back into you.
Right.
Like if you're a barber, why is it not you don't have those same people? Getting their hair cut by you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Why is it we out here spending $5,000, or let me say not $5,000, but you spend $500 on some jeans,
real quick.
$200 on this and that,
real quick.
Man, you won't even donate $100 to a basketball program at a school that your child play for.
How that benefit you? How that's gonna benefit me doing that? Because it's just short-sighted mentality.
Well, they small thinking, man.
Yeah.
Small thinking. I can show you a card trick, man, and it's the simplest card trick. But what enables me to pick it up and figure out how this trick works, and where somebody else may not pick it up, is because the small, minute thinking that we have versus where mine is a larger perspective.
Okay.
I don't foresee us spending money down there if they not putting it back into it.
Damn.
I don't believe in spending money down there, but then you give money to Whitefish Bay, you give money to Menominee Falls, you give money. Those districts, those cities don't need it. Them families well off. They living in $200,000-$300,000 houses. They making money. But then we see right here, people right in this city making $40,000 living right in this city, going down there supporting y'all this and that, and they ain't got nowhere to live.
But we always know charity don't make it to the hood. Hey, look, anything the president do don't make it to the hood. We don't get affected by it. Obama was black, so people got mad he couldn't do nothing for black people. What was he supposed to do? We're the downtrodden people of this country.
I'm gonna say this though.
You know what I'm saying? Some people be like that.
I'm a teacher, D.
Absolutely,
so I'm gonna get on them about this.
Tell them,
it's
Rob.
education.
Yep.
We're not educating our kids.
No.
I don't care nothing about the presidential election to a certain degree.
Right.
Because you know why? That's dealing with international business.
Yeah, none of that shit affects us.
You know what matters to me? The state.
Yep.
The local elections.
Right.
Because those are the ones you deal with directly that have a profound effect on you and your community.
Right.
So we'd rather be talking about voting for Obama, but we ain't talking about the governor.
The
we ain't talking
boards.
about the mayor. We ain't talking about the alderman. Them
Man,
the ones
for
we
sure.
need to really be holding accountable
Absolutely.
more than Barack Obama.
Because all politics are local. People don't understand that.
You know, Chris Abel and them, these are the people we need
Yeah.
to be getting at because they the ones who make the decisions. They the ones who are delegated the dollars for this city.
Absolutely.
And they the ones who have the Noah House, supposed to have the Noah House.
Yes.
They supposed to want to have the resource connections, all that to make this city flourish.
Yes, sir.
If this city not flourishing and those people are at the helm of this,
Yeah.
then we have to start looking at them.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. But
And
we don't
then-
care about that, Riley.
Well,
You know?
it
A
starts
lot of
because
us
they
don't care.
keeping us down. And when I mean they, I'm not talking about white.
Nope. Sure ain't.
I'm talking about people who can continue to have you to spend your money and not care where your dollar go.
Absolutely.
They keeping us down.
Absolutely.
And we keep spending with them. And it could be black, it could be Asian, it could be Latino, it could be
Right.
white, it could be whoever.
Right.
I'm saying people, period.
Right.
The higher ups, whoever got the money,
Absolutely.
they not taking consideration to say we could have a serious effect to change this, the culture of this city, man. You know what I'm saying? If they invest the right way, man, I tell you this, I hate Jabari Parker left, dog.
Yeah, he was putting
For a number of reasons. It ain't just for the Bucks, man.
Yeah.
But the way Jabari was giving back into these communities,
Yeah.
Jabari, you can go to any one of these public school games and see Jabari in the stands at them games.
Yeah.
You can see he had cut checks to some of these programs to support these people.
Yeah.
Man, we need to do more of that. They don't need a check cut for Whitefish Bay.
No.
They don't need a check cut for Franklin.
No, they put it on a referendum, whatever they need.
You know?
Everything
And I
they
get mad
need.
at the NBA too, because when these guys from the inner city who have made it and they want to give back, they put it in their ear to who they really should be supporting and giving back to. Those communities don't need it, man. They already flourishing. I was looking at a stat where I seen the state give Whitefish Bay district more money to MPS.
Yeah.
How is that?
Taxes. They property taxes though. City of Milwaukee is never gonna raise their taxes for MPS. They look at MPS as a cesspool, as a black hole. What the money gonna do? That's why we'll never raise taxes. People in Milwaukee ain't gonna go for it.
But I say this, they can blame our superintendent all they want. It's not Dr.
Right.
Keith Posley problem.
Right.
That's not him.
Right.
It's the parents. It's the people. You see this happening.
Right.
And Dr. Posley, he'll hold a meeting down there. They'll have an MPS district meeting.
Yeah.
How many parents you see showing up?
They ain't gonna show
to
up.
fight for what they'll come on your show and talk.
Right.
They'll go on live chat and do all that.
Right.
But won't go down there and voice their opinion to the people that it really matter. Where the
Absolutely.
influence can really be felt.
Absolutely.
They ain't going to do that. Oh, I ain't going to do that. Like voting.
Right.
Man, I ain't going to vote. But you, after voting and you see who got elected, you always complaining.
That school board vote was very big.
And that's why sometimes I say we do it to ourselves, man.
Yeah,
we
ain't nobody
always
to
trying to
blame.
point the finger. It's us doing it to ourselves. You know, we got to become more united, man. We got to get together. And I think it starts, like, we got a strong united front right now, of young black men in this city that want to do something for this city. I just think they really don't know how.
Absolutely.
I mean, when you think about what I'm trying to do,
Right.
you think about what Vic Barnett got established. You start thinking of the Mark Waves. You think of what B. Joe and them doing with they situation over there. You Freddie Owens. You start thinking of all these different. Carl Landry and them got they family started the real estate thing.
Yeah.
Man, you just go on. Man, it's just a ton of stuff.
Ton of
You
stuff
take
going
these
on.
black preachers, these men of God. You know, get them out of the church and start getting into the communities.
Yeah.
Really into the
Really.
communities.
Really.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Instead of, passing judgment on some of them.
Absolutely.
Hey, God take you the way you are and he clean you up the way he wants you to be.
Absolutely.
So you can't expect everybody to come to the church right.
No.
So I'm just saying, if all of us came with a united front, man, it would be a different type of a vibe around the city. It'd be more like when we was growing up, you know, where you could walk somewhere and a neighbor feed you, they'd clothe you, they'd give you $1, give you a ride, and you felt safe. And you knew this was the right place to raise a kid. It's not like that no more, man.
Right. Absolutely not.
How do we think that it's cool for our kids to be doing home invasions? How is it cool that we run around and the second grader know how to cuss your butt out and shake their butt, but they don't even know how to read? You know what I'm saying? They can play a video game, but they can't remember to do homework.
Nope.
You know what I'm saying?
They don't even bring homework home no more. Right?
As we raising our kids when we don't have nothing, but we telling them education and a job is not it.
It's a lot.
We losing, man.
Right, for sure.
We losing, man.
Absolutely. Oh man, y'all got politician Freddie Riley now. Y'all got it. I hope y'all listening, yo. This is all good. This is why you get brothers out here is bigger than basketball. It's more
This
than
who I
basketball,
am, man.
You know?
I use basketball as a vehicle, man.
Right.
This is who I am. This is what's my heart. I want to transform the city, but I can't do it alone, man. I'm going to fail by myself. Right. It's got to be more, man. And dudes got to stop doing this little catty stuff, man. And that's what's really stopping us and halting us, man, because you got dudes in there picking people who they want to be successful. No, it's who's willing to do the job.
Right.
It's who's willing to do the job. Man, you out here begging dudes to sit up and, man, come on, man, come be part of this. Man, come be down with this. And they are, oh, man, well, yeah. Man, forget dude.
Right.
He ain't on board.
Right.
You know, it's kid. People got stuff around this city all day long, man. I'll come out and support anything, but nobody call my phone and ask me to come do nothing, man.
No.
They don't call my phone to do nothing, man. And for whatever reason, man, I try not to get into it, man. But people got their little personals or whatever, man. I get past that because it's bigger than the individual.
Right. Go ahead.
It's bigger than the individual, man.
Absolutely.
Like a lot of people got on, was expecting me to, talk negative or have a ill will towards my two boys who left. Are you crazy?
Okay.
I mean, as a coach,
Right.
I didn't like it.
Absolutely.
But as a person, I love it.
Right.
Because you know why? Growing up, and I tell people this all the time, we always talked about our kids was never given opportunity. If they was given the opportunity. Okay, 2 of them boys is getting that opportunity.
Right.
So now what we supposed to say? No, they ain't supposed to go.
Yeah.
That's selfish on my behalf.
Right.
Listen, man, I know what we could accomplish while they were here. But I tell you this, man, I had some great memories with them while they was here.
Absolutely.
And they can't take that.
Absolutely.
And I ain't talking about just on that court. When I'm talking about in practices, talks we had when we traveled out of town, that connection, that lifetime bond, man, that's what helped me get over the fact that they left basketball.
Right.
Because it helped me understand it's bigger than that.
Right.
Forget winning a state championship with Mike. You know what's better? If Mike and Keontae come back here and create some housing for some kids, some families,
Right.
created some structures and systems in place that allow us to flourish.
Right.
We win, man.
Right.
We win. I don't need no state championship.
Right.
They can run and preach this, and I said, and I'm looking into y'all. Y'all can talk that state championship stuff all you want.
Right.
It ain't about no state championship.
Right.
It's about good people.
Absolutely.
And having people come back.
Right.
And be able to give back to the city that's desperately starving for it, man.
Right.
Kavon can't do it by himself right now, dog.
Right.
Kavon is doing this by himself, man.
Yeah.
And that's selfishly by a lot of other people who got the finances and the resources and will not. They sitting back watching it. Well, let's see if no. Get active.
Get active.
Get involved, man. Be the change. And they not, man.
Yeah.
Oh, well, I'll wait till such and such do it. Man, such and such ain't gonna do it.
Yeah, I mean, but you get your powers that big. You look at Carl when they wanted to put, the new floor down in Vincent. He had a check for $250K. You know what I'm saying? They want to do the bleachers too, so that pulled it up to $400K. Paperwork didn't get in, the floor didn't get done.
By any means necessary.
Carl wanted
by
the
that.
wood in the main floor and wanted the sport court around, but he wanted wood on the main playing floor.
By any means necessary, get it done.
It's supposed to
Carl,
got it done.
If it cost whatever, Carl, you get it done. You got to go sit down there with them higher ups to make them understand the influence of the change and how this can impact. You get it done.
Yeah,
you don't
got your
accept
money.
no.
Right, you got your money and they acting like they don't want it.
You don't say no.
I mean?
Man, I remember our floor at Washington, man. You know, me and Mr. Boyd kid around about this a lot of times, man. And Coach Davis, they got that common ground thing going. And I remember when Dr. Thorson was here, Superintendent Dr. Thorson, and I took pictures of the floor. It was 121 holes in Washington floor.
Okay.
And you talking about fighting. I'm a dude who ain't taking no for an answer.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, man, you expect dudes to play on this? 121 holes on this floor.
Right, and that was tiled. That was terrible. I don't
You
even know why
expect
they
to do
did
to play.
that. That was,
You talking about if you don't change this, somebody tear their knee up, you looking at a bigger lawsuit than you ever can imagine.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And that's the type of stuff we got to come more educated to the board, talk more educated, have our stuff well mapped out and planned when we going to talk to them. If we coming with a half plan or we ain't got the right verbiage when we trying to use to express what we trying to get our point across to get their support, they not.
Absolutely.
They not.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
it's we have to come right. You know, and when we come right, they give us.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And I tell you, over at Washington at the time, you had Miss Adair, she wasn't having it.
Right.
She a bulldog. And that's why I love working for her at the time. She's a bulldog. She ain't having it. She ain't taking no for an answer.
Right.
You know, Boyd is a bulldog.
Right.
He ain't taking no for an answer.
Mr. Washington. My
You know
cousin,
what I'm saying?
My cousin.
He ain't taking no for an answer,
Washington.
man. So I like working with people like that, man, that don't take no for an answer. We going to get it done by any means necessary because we know the profound effect it can have on our community and the kids in the community, the families in the community.
All right. Yeah, that's what happened when intellectual brothers get here talking, man. We're going to give you extra stuff that you wasn't even thinking about, though. Appreciate that, Rouse. Your biggest rival school and or individual throughout your career?
Playing?
Yeah.
Bayview. Without a doubt.
Okay.
The Red Cats.
Okay.
You know, it was crazy because it was the Big Nine.
Yep.
And we grew up with a lot of them. We know from playing at Warning or seeing around the city, AFY, stuff like that, middle school.
Right.
So that became our biggest rival. I liked playing against the Racine and Kenosha teams. Because those dudes reminded me, especially in Racine, of us.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? But I think my biggest rivals was with Bayview, man. I love going against B. Morgan and Scudder. Okay. I love going against Levi Bradley, man. Okay. Levi Bradley was, Dre Broughton was a big guard too at the time, a big point guard. But Levi Bradley, 6'6", handling the point. Ooh.
No doubt.
Seeing TC, man, growing up, Twan Clayton and them, Twan manhandling people to be 6 feet, down in the post, having it his way. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Just treating you. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Right. Troy Coleman, man. I saw that growing up, man. Right. Seeing Chris Jones, battle those guys, man. People like, he's like one of those guys they never talk about. Chris came out of Hamilton. He was Mr. Wisconsin, Mr. Basketball in '88. He was Mr. Basketball. Chris could have went to Arizona right after Sean Elliott got drafted. That's where he was supposed to go. Okay. He was supposed to fill Sean Elliott's shoes. Okay. Chris' mom passed. He honored his mom and went to Drake because that's where she graduated from. If Chris would have went to Arizona, he'd have been our first pro. Yeah. Kevon would have been our second. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Right. I talk about Keith Stewart, brother, man. Raleigh, Calvin Stewart, man. Come on, man. Tonio Spinks from Westlawn went out there, but Tonio was involved in the streets, man. It took away his opportunity, man. Yeah. Raleigh was cold. You talking about yo? Yeah. Man, we had some greats, man. Didn't get that opportunity. And I tell these kids, man, dude, y'all don't understand the opportunities y'all have. If we had that, man.
We had that. We had the platform. Right now, all you got to do is average 10.
Man, listen.
You're going D1.
We had Proposition 48, which means if you didn't have a composite ACT score, not an ACT sum, a composite, and then if you didn't have a certain GPA, you had to go to college and sit out. Yeah. Man, I wish I lived in this era where you had standard-based grading. I wish I lived in this era, man, where you had AACT sum. Dude, I'd have been an All-American.
Right.
I'd have been All-American. I'd have went to wherever schools was offering me at the time. Man, I got 2 schools. I was getting recruited.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I couldn't get there because I didn't take school serious when I was young.
Right.
I didn't take it serious. Man, I tell people this all the time. I didn't know where my library was at Hamilton.
Oh, man. There you go.
I didn't know.
There you go.
I didn't know, man. I had girls helping me with homework, doing stuff for me, all that type of stuff. You pay people this and that.
Yeah.
But, man, when I got to college, I can tell you where my library was.
Absolutely.
Ask them how many nights I spent the night in there doing papers on my own, falling asleep. Cats tapping me, waking me up to go to my dorm room.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I took education more serious when I got to college.
Absolutely.
Man.
As everybody should. Everybody should.
But I wish I would have
in
high school, man.
Did you have somebody telling you to take it?
Absolutely.
See?
Absolutely, man. I wasn't listening.
Right.
I was caught up in hoops at the time.
Right.
Man, I was caught up in fame. Man, think about this. We had red carpet growing up, the bowling alley.
Yep.
And then you had Rocky Rococo's.
Yep.
After the games, everybody went to Rocky Rococo's and hung out.
Right.
I don't care what school you came from.
Okay.
It could be public, it could be suburban, private. We all hung together after the games. All the girls was at Rocky Rococo's. It was a big atmosphere of family.
Right.
And then you leave Rockies and go to red carpet. Nobody went in the bowl. Everybody out in the parking lot. We
it,
cracking so tough. Todd Day, Lee Mayberry, when they get drafted, they hanging out with us, kids. You know what I'm saying?
That red carpet.
You can't have that atmosphere now.
No, you can't have that
because
now.
they ain't raising kids to be humble, respectful, loving. We teaching our kids to hate.
Yeah.
We teaching our kids to hate, and that's why the city is in the rut it's in, because we teach it. We'll come on here.
Yeah.
And we'll talk like we loving and doing this and that.
Right.
Go look at a post 5 minutes later from that person.
Absolutely.
And they hating on somebody, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
It ain't no love like that. It's false love here, man. And that's why the city, it ain't gonna flourish. TD Jakes got off the plane. Said, I'm getting back on the plane. They got black angels over this city. It's a black cloud over this city. Man, we know what that means.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what that means.
Right. Right.
So for him to, come on, man, that says something about our city, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you can't put 100 people together without somebody fighting or getting shot or stabbed.
Yeah, this is a unique place, though, man. They built this for this. I believe we're the testing grounds for everything they want to do with Black America in Milwaukee. That's why we always lead in all the negative statistics for the nation. We always, for a point in time, led. Ain't no reason for a city of this magnitude with all these jobs here. Rod, there's a lot of jobs here. People just don't have the skills to obtain those jobs. And I'm
gonna say this, Don, I say this because I'm having this argument right now about teachers. They pumping this certification thing so tough,
man,
and they making a big issue about this. I know some teachers got certifications that can't even teach and run their classrooms.
Right.
I know some teachers who come into the class as an assistant,
absolutely, run
the class and teach the class better than the teacher.
Yep.
But the teacher get the 80,000 and the pair get wedges.
Yeah.
35 hours, and they run the class.
Yeah.
But you don't have administration stepping up for them. It's not about no certification. Listen, let me be honest with you, man. You got all type of teachers out here, man. How do a dude go no further than 6th grade, run a farm, and become a millionaire?
Right.
Wasn't no certification involved in that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You got businessmen that you saying they can't come teach a class because they don't have a certification. You got people with bachelor's degrees. You said they can't teach because they don't have a certification.
That's why I was down with Walker. Like, man, if they can teach, let them teach, man.
I don't understand that, man. I understand if you don't have no credentials, you don't need to be in no classroom.
Absolutely.
You don't got a bachelor's degree.
Absolutely.
You don't need to be in the classroom. You don't have a master's, a doctorate. You don't need to be in the classroom. But don't tell me because I ain't got no certification. What you just did by that, you just, man, you downplayed a college degree.
Absolutely.
You telling people that a certification is more important than a college degree.
But you got to have a degree to get certified.
So I don't understand that, man. I think Governor Evers, I think Lieutenant Governor, who's from here,
right?
You know,
right. I know. Is it Malon? Is it Mitchell?
No. I got his name on the tip of my tongue.
I know who you're talking about though.
Yeah,
I know you're talking about.
he's an MPS product, man. I
Right.
hope they can really get to the table, sit down, and see that philosophy don't work. I understand it's creating jobs for people. When you got the prax testing, that's more jobs.
Right.
You know, people get employed.
Absolutely.
You know, you come with these certification programs, that's people employment.
Right.
But I think that's for people who haven't finished. That certification fee going for people who haven't finished. Those type of programs for people who haven't finished, it ain't got a bachelor's degree.
Right.
You don't degrade what we telling these kids to go to school for, to get education for, a bachelor's, a master's, a doctorate, and you just degraded it all, downplayed it all by saying you can't teach with that degree because you don't have a certification.
Absolutely.
I don't agree with that, man.
Absolutely.
I don't
Absolutely.
agree with that. No,
but we know
no.
ain't nothing gonna change here to 2020 because Republicans run everything, so they still got to set on what they want to do, and so it's.
But
it's
you know
a
what?
funny
They don't
thing,
even
man.
live by that philosophy.
No,
they
no.
tell us they
Absolutely.
govern us by that,
Absolutely.
but they don't. Look at the situation over at Harvard. They kids didn't deserve to be at Harvard,
No, not at all.
but money got them into Harvard.
Right, because it's
The girl
embarrassing.
telling you clear out. I ain't come here for the no education. I came here to party.
Yeah, it's just that status. You got to keep up
But
with your
we got
friends.
cats with the degree, and you said can't get it.
Can't get it.
But
Can't
you
get
got
it.
people who getting pushed through just off wealth.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know, like,
Absolutely.
I don't get that, man.
The lookout.
I'm gonna tell you this: our governor, former governor, did he graduate from college?
Nope.
But
Nope.
ran this city,
Ran the state.
ran the state.
Right. That'll show you,
But you telling somebody with a degree,
man.
come on, man, this is contradiction.
Absolutely.
It's contradicting, man.
Absolutely.
And like an educated man see this stuff, dude.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
But it sometimes it hurts me because I say we may not have that many educated people in our city that they don't stand up for that. They don't see that. They don't see that. Man, you know how many people out of our generation went and got college degrees? Should be teaching in the classroom, educating our kids or whatever. And they said they can't. I'm going to tell you another stat, man. And I ain't trying to cut on nobody, but this is just facts. And I look at this stuff. They say our district is failing, right? Okay. I'll say who in charge of the district?
Right.
Well, who's in charge of the kids?
Absolutely. That, boom.
Who's in charge of the kids?
Boom.
Not
Boom.
necessarily the district.
Not the district.
Who's in charge of the kids?
That's a whole nother
It's parents in
conversation.
charge of their kids.
Parents in charge
You
of their
can't drop
kids.
your kid off at a school and say, I don't know what to do no more. And then the district say, okay, we'll take over. State, y'all give us a little bit more money.
Absolutely.
No, that's not how it works. Because we can pump into them kids for 6 to 8 hours the truth and actually have them on board to change.
Right. Right.
And they go back home.
Absolutely. At the same time.
And it breaks. So you ever seen the movie 52 Dates?
No, I ain't
with
see that.
Adam Sandler?
No.
That's what this remind me of.
Okay.
Oh, girl, she had memory loss.
Okay.
So you could go through this today, and tomorrow she'll wake up, and you have to teach her all over again because she ain't remember.
Right.
That's what's going on in our district with the kids. We could teach them for 6 to 8 hours. They go home,
That's
they
it.
come
That's a
back.
wrap.
We got to
That's a
reprogram them all over again.
Absolutely.
It's like a PS2, Xbox, and all that. When you don't save your stuff and you cut the game off,
Sure.
you know what I'm saying? When you go back to cut it on, you don't start in the season where you was at. You start over. And that's what we doing every day in the classroom with these kids. We starting over. It's like the movie 52 Dates, man.
Absolutely. 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 Roz, who was your hardest player ever to guard?
Ooh, man. Whew. Man, I'm gonna say this dude, man. I'm gonna say this dude, and nobody will never. They don't know who he is.
Okay.
But I'm gonna tell you who he is.
Okay.
It's this white kid, California, 150 pounds. Jay Harry.
Okay.
Shoot the ball. He was Steph Curry before Steph Curry,
Okay.
man. And anybody in California, they know what I'm talking about, man. They know what I'm talking about. Out there in California, he played for Butte.
Okay.
Jay Harry. I got footage on him, man. I can show you the tapes on him, man.
Right.
This dude was Steph Curry before. I'm talking about with the range, shooting that dribble, pull-up stuff. Man, he was doing white dude, Jay Harry. 150 pounds, probably about 6 feet, 6'1". Man, he was the hardest dude I ever had to guard.
Okay.
Because he could do it on the dribble. He could do it off the dribble. Man, it screens, whatever. He gave me problems, man.
Okay.
And I mean, he ain't supposed to give me no problems.
Right.
Dude gave me problems. outside of him, man, like, I mean, I had some fierce competitive battles with some dudes, man. Like, you know, Cal was a battle. Trey Gross was a battle. Joe Haybear was a battle. You know, Jamal Turntine was a battle. Marty Mitchell was a battle. You know, I got the dudes who I grew up with was a battle. I never feared nobody, man.
Right.
You know, I never feared nobody. I looked forward to it because it was a measuring stick of me. I was always trying to prove myself because I knew I was a nobody. I was a nobody. So I felt if I got off against them, I'd make a name for myself. But if it was anybody that I really feared, like I said, oh man,
who was your toughest defender? Like who, like when they stepped on, like made it hard for you? Like you had to really, you know, you had to work that game. Like, yo, it's just something about dude. He can get up under me. He can get to my.
He never played college ball. Never played high school ball.
Okay.
JoJo.
Okay.
Cash and Monty and them. This was a dude who grew up in our community. He was off 20th Street. He went to John Muir, but he never played high school ball. But I don't care wherever I played him, you wasn't putting the ball on the float around JoJo.
Ain't that crazy in our generation? There's so many cold cats that didn't play in high school because either they grades or they was in the streets. If they would have played for them high schools on them teams, man, come on, man.
Michael Gardner, Brian Hale. Oh my goodness, man. I don't even want to go out now and start naming some of these dudes, man.
Right.
You know, man, like, you know, I thought Dre Broughton got cheated, man. Dre Broughton was a bad mother. MF, man.
Yeah.
For real. Yeah. Growing up, man, Dre Broughton was the SHIT.
No doubt.
You know, and I felt he kind of got man. It's like, man, you know, people, Dwayne Mitchell.
Okay.
Sweet Hands. You get the nickname Sweet Hands, that tell you something right there, man.
Right.
Come on now.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
No doubt.
You know, it was just so many, man. Like Carmen Bell, people would never talk about Carmen Bell. I'm gonna tell you some people really never talk about either, man. Like people always want to talk about Freddie Brown, Sherrod Ford, Sherrod Ford. Clarence Sherrod and them. Man, I'm glad the WBCA finally acknowledged Shimmy Turntine. Shimmy Turntine was a mother. I never got to see him play. All I get to do is read his stats. Unreal to average 30-something on the team with them dudes.
Okay.
With no 3-point line.
Right.
Freddie Brown, for downtown Freddie Brown made it. But Shimmy?
Right. Right.
Terry Bennett.
Yeah.
Everybody, you know, how you not mentioning Terry Bennett?
You don't mention
he
Terry
did it
Bennett.
in high school.
Right.
He roasted UNLV. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
How you don't mention Von McDay? He gave Illinois 50. Andy Kaufman is still turning over right now, waking up cold sweats. How Von giving it to him. You know what I'm saying? Man, like I saw some great basketball growing up, man. I saw basketball as finest growing up, and I feel our city getting robbed of it now, man, because it's too much made of nothing.
Absolutely.
Kids haven't proven themselves, and they making too much of nothing.
Yeah, we finna get right into all that. What made you want to coach?
I always want to give back.
Okay.
And I couldn't see myself being a policeman, a fireman. Hey man, listen! Shouts out to them, man, because I tip my hat to them because they doing something I couldn't do.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I couldn't be in the hospital and seeing somebody head blown off and be a doctor. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't be a lawyer sitting in there sending somebody to jail that I know shouldn't be getting 40 years for some petty. Yeah. You know, it was certain things. I just said I'm not gonna play that lane.
Absolutely.
I thought this was the best lane for me. Being an educator, it allowed me so many different platforms to reach young people, regardless of the ethnic, regardless of the gender.
Yeah.
And I thought this was just my lane.
Okay. What was your biggest accomplishment coaching?
Man, my biggest accomplishment continues to come every year.
Okay.
When I see my boys graduate.
Absolutely.
Just seeing them dudes walk that stage. And you talking about, man, for me, like, we talking about kids who everybody wrote off. You know, nobody said they ain't graduating.
Yeah.
You know, man, they ain't gonna get it done.
Well, and people don't understand how important Washington is to the city. It's centrally located. You having kids coming from everywhere, every direction to there, which means you got different hoods, different gangs, different situations.
How do we not promote that?
Yeah, we
those kids had all the odds stacked against them, and they made it.
And they come.
But then we parade the kids who supposed to made it, You go to Menominee Falls. You go to Dominican.
Yeah.
To me, you supposed to make it.
Yeah, but it's very hard to go to Washington. Yeah, I mean, with everything that's stacked up against you and the hate that comes from the outlying sources, because they don't understand how strong that alumni base is. You can come with it, but we're gonna defend and block all of it. We're gonna make sure we put into these children, though. But you know, to go to Washington means a lot to come up out of that joint because everything is stacked against you. Hated. That's probably the most hated school in MPS.
Because of the success, the tradition, the legacy. Man, some people hold that, they harbor that, man. You know, I still go through it to this day, man. You see the people on Facebook. We see y'all.
Yeah,
we know who y'all are. We know y'all. Yeah. Man, y'all won't cheer for us because y'all never beat Washington.
All that is envy anyway.
Yeah, but man, that's as a kid.
Yeah.
That's why I said the kids being robbed. When we grew up, guess what? We lose to Washington. We lost to Bayview. We go in the Rocky Rococos. We hang out with you.
Right. It is what it is.
We get with chicks, we kick it, we whatever.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We hang out, we socialize.
Right.
Ain't no, I hold this grudge.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We talking about cats 20, 30 years done from playing basketball, still holding grudges
Still
against
hating over
schools.
something. You took my girl.
Man,
the one
listen,
girl I wanted to talk
should
to.
hold the biggest grudge against Washington. They beat me in 1990 upstate.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I felt I got robbed. We had a chance to beat the number 4 ranked team in the country with the number 1 ranked point guard in the nation.
Right.
And then they had another All-American in Silas Mills, 2 pros on that team.
Right.
They had probably about 4 Division I players. Come on, man. If it's anybody, I should have the most envy. And I said, no, I want to go over there and be part of that.
Absolutely.
My love for Hamilton, can't erase that.
Right.
But you know what? It was something that mystique over there, man. You like, ooh,
yeah.
Like what is it about?
Right.
Man, I'm gonna tell you, Washington used to crack so hard, man. We had our own homecomings and stuff like that, man. We was going to Washington's.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
We was going to Washington's, man.
Right. You're right.
You know.
Right.
So like I understand the tradition there, man. You know, and that kind of kept the city afloat, man.
Yes, sir.
Like it kept stuff right.
Yes, sir.
Washington, because people knew what that school was the foundation was built off of.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? In the 80s, the late 70s and the late 70s and 80s and 90s, we knew what it was built off of.
Absolutely. Your toughest loss as a coach.
Everybody would say that Nicolay wouldn't know it wasn't. Everybody say last year Kakana. No, it wasn't. Everybody say Cedarburg. No, it wasn't. It was none of the 3 state championship games. I think my biggest, the loss that I took was against Whitefish Bay in 2016, the year Tijon got hurt.
Okay.
I still felt we were strong enough to win and get us to Madison.
Okay.
You know, and we set a pact as a family that we was doing this for Tijon. And we went up against a team that was far more supreme then, you know, talent wise. But they played together. I mean, they didn't have a household name on that team. I mean, it wasn't a guy who probably even playing college ball to this day, but they played like a team. That hurt me. Not the fact of that we lost,
right? How
we lost.
Okay.
We lost because they showed us how to be a better team, how to be a team. And we was fighting it that night. Yeah. It was about an individual saying, no, Tijon gone, I'm going to make us win. And I don't knock them like that because you plan for your brother. You want to give it your all. But sometimes you get so caught up in trying to play for you, for somebody else, that you forget we playing for us.
Yeah.
We playing for us. And that gets lost a lot in the game now.
Right.
And I think that was my biggest loss, man. The one that hurt me the most was that one in 2006, the Whitefish Bay at Greenfield. That hurt, man.
All right. Who's your biggest rival?
Right now?
Yeah.
People want to say Nicolay, man, but I say no.
That's one year.
That's 1 year, right?
Year, that's done. You gotta like no shade, but man, come on, people. This recency bias shit, like.
I don't like, man, like
people. Let me say this, right?
I'm gonna say I thought my biggest rival was King.
Yeah, it was King. Once again,
you know?
they done fell off a couple of years. You know what I'm saying? Because the biggest blow happened when them two brothers couldn't get along and they had to both go prep. Which I didn't understand that. But then to make a legendary coach like that say, you know what, I'm kind of done here because this one right here wore me out. trying to quell all of that, trying to keep the composure, trying to keep the. I mean, and that to me was one of them situations like that shouldn't have happened. And it should have just been a sit down. But how many sit downs did they have? And it didn't work.
Sometimes, man. And I mean this in the most respectfulest way, man. Sometimes, man, it ain't meant to be.
Yep, absolutely.
And the reason why I say that is because ulterior motives.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? It'll make it not meant to be. It'll make it the worst experience ever when it should have been the best experience
Should have been the
ever.
best experience ever.
You know what I'm saying? And
Right.
if they put aside the ulterior motives and understood that this is a team sport and we play for each other and the betterment for us and we play and we sacrifice, I think that stuff would have never even happened over there.
Absolutely.
I don't think it would have never happened. But when you got outside and outside don't understand what inside is doing.
Inside is doing. That's the biggest thing.
You know what I'm, well, that's what we're dealing with in this day and time right
Yes,
now.
sir.
The outside don't understand what the inside doing. For example,
And they think you ain't doing nothing.
well, I mean,
They think you ain't doing enough. And all, man, it's a lot, man.
let me try to help it out a little bit, D. You got a kid, and you've been working with this kid for an extensive period of time.
Right.
And God, help me put this in the right ways, because I don't want to rub nobody the wrong way or anything like that.
Right.
But you spend a lot of time with a kid, and that kid, you have your impression on them.
Right.
So that kid leans on you
Right.
for advice.
Right.
But you're an adult, and there's a kid, and this kid is part of a program, and you know growing up what team looked like, what you've been taught.
Right.
You know, and you are taught not to overstep boundaries and guidelines. Like, for example, I think the ball father,
Right.
he totally overstepped his bounds.
Just as a parent,
And
a basketball parent. I
people
would
think
say.
that's okay because he's the parent.
Yeah. Hell
But
no.
you don't understand. It's 15 players on that team, 12 to 15 players. Wonder if every parent was like that.
Right, man.
Let me tell you this. I sent the kid to a Division I school. And the dad wanted to have a talk with the coach. And the coach said, out of respect, I'll do this one time. But if you want to know anything that's going on, you need to talk to your son.
Yeah.
Your son need to keep you abreast with what's going on and this and that.
Right.
My job is I can't do this for one parent all the time because I would have to answer to every parent like this.
Absolutely.
And if I'm doing this, when am I doing my job to the kids?
Right.
So I think it got to be a fine line of respect of parents continue to be supportive.
Right.
You know, family members continue to be supportive, mentors or whatever continue to be supportive.
Right.
But no, it's a limit to where you can go with this, man.
Right. What they don't understand, we are professional coaches. No shout out, no shade at the AAU cats, but to me, you not a professional coach. A high school coach is a professional coach.
Well, I say
unless
this though, D.
unless the AAU coach, if you really, I mean, like if you're working, because I've had situations. Some of the best players I had, Riles, and I'll let you get back in, was the ones when I worked with the AAU coach because they professionally handled the situation.
Absolutely.
Now the other ones that just want to show, it's different. It's levels to it.
But see, once again, that's the ulterior motive I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or some people feel intimidated.
Yeah.
You know, like, just me.
Yeah. No,
I can't let
us.
nobody
This
else
is
get close.
This is
And
us.
man, what happened to the old saying? It takes a community,
Yeah,
a village
absolutely.
to raise a kid.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That kid at the end of the day, that's why I said what I said in the post about my boys.
Mm-hmm.
Because what I installed in them the 2 years that they were with me,
Yeah.
I'm not worried about nobody taking that from them.
Yeah, man.
And
Look
what
at
I
that post,
installed in
man.
them, I wasn't trying to move in on nobody's territory either.
No, ain't no territory. But anybody
You know?
check Freddie Riley's post on Facebook, man. It was a beautifully written post, man. And I mean, he didn't have to do it. You didn't have to do it. You didn't have to do that, but he did it
I
because
felt
of
it was
who you
necessary.
are. Who you are.
Because a lot of people don't know, and
Yeah.
they have these false notions
Yeah.
and put false stuff out there.
Yeah.
And it's a lot of critics out there that
Yeah.
don't have credentials, but
Don't have no credentials.
they critics.
Wow.
And it's okay, man. Like in this business, I was talking to you a couple of days ago. I said we gotta have tough skin in this business.
Absolutely.
If you ain't got tough skin, then man, you can't be in this because this how they coming.
Absolutely.
Whether if you successful or if you failing,
Absolutely.
they coming at you either way it go, man.
Absolutely. How are we looking at the coaches versus the officials, Freddie? How,
I think the relationships got better.
Yeah.
I think totally got better.
Okay.
It's not as many technicals as it used to be.
Okay.
Not many as ejections from the game as it used to be. I'm telling you, man, when I came into this league, I was a wild coach, man. I was cussing out like, man, I'm for real. I was really, because I didn't understand. Let me just put it, my lack of maturity.
Absolutely.
You know, as a coach, I was young.
Yeah.
And I just really didn't understand.
Yeah.
But over the years, I have developed some of some really good relationships with some officials, man.
Okay.
And we to the point where we could sit, they come over, we talking this and that. I slap good call, man, you know.
Yeah,
and at first I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
But a lot of it had to be me. I had to change, man. It had to start with me. I can ask them dudes to change, and I'm totally out of line too.
Absolutely.
If you won't change, just start with you first, and then that person see you make an adjustment, they'll be willing to make one.
Yeah, what people don't understand, referees are there to do a job like we there to coach. That's our job. They just there to official. Do we make the proper call, subbing the proper people and all that? No, we make mistakes. So if a ref missed a call, they can't be all these cuss names and you yelling at them disrespectful because they're not yelling at you. I mean, you got to understand, and that goes so much further than doing the yelling and grandstanding. Like you said, it's a maturation process that some people don't have, and they think it's all about them. They didn't come to watch me stand on the sideline. They came to watch them girls play. It wasn't about me.
Right.
I was an after effect. I was on the sideline. The main thing was the girls on the court. I'm on the sideline.
The focal point.
Right? You know, so it is what it is. So, Roz, city versus suburban perception. How you feel about that?
I love it.
Okay.
I love it. We should always have that battle. It should be something. Listen, man, Chicago do it big down there with the city versus suburban.
Okay.
You know, we got to get on board. We so slow with stuff here, man. Like, I don't really get it. We say we want the best for our kids, but we not moving with the times, man.
Nope.
And I just think that, man, this city versus, man, shout out to Fresh Coast Classic, man, because they've been doing it. Mm-hmm. I know out at around Christmas time, you know, they try to do one out there, Concordia College,
that Wisconsin yearbook.
It ain't really city. That ain't really the city versus public. If you really ask me, they got a couple teams matched, and it ain't even suburban teams here. You got city teams here playing teams from up north.
Absolutely,
you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I think the Fresh Coast was doing an awesome job. Shout out to Ty, shout out to Vic, shout out to Dante, shout out to Ward, shout out to Clyde. Russ Thomas. Shout out to Bill Mobeck. Those alderman, former alderman Willie Wade, those guys, man, did an awesome job. Alderman Stamper and them, they did an awesome job, man, of pulling the right necessary people, you know, to put it together to make this happen.
Absolutely.
But come on, we got to go past that now. We got to do something to help the Fresh Coast. The Fresh Coast shouldn't be doing this by themselves. No. You know, they do the Thanksgiving. We should have a Christmas one here. I shouldn't have to fly to California. I shouldn't have to fly to Vegas. You know what I'm saying? Yeah,
we need more games. Part of that is the WIA and how they do it. We need more games, man. Ain't no way in hell
we got the US, we got the games, the Panther Arena, the Pfizer Forum, and we don't even use it for stuff down here. We got the City Review, but that's us playing against each other.
So we got the Al McGuire Center, which I think should host so many games.
That's all I'm saying.
But we got who gonna do it? Who gonna put the money up?
Hey, it's a ton of money here.
Right, but who gonna put it up? Who gonna put their name on it? Who gonna get the advertise? People talk a good game but don't want to do it.
I'm gonna tell you this, David Gruber. Absolutely. Man, shout out to David Gruber, man. David Gruber is all over this stuff, man.
Absolutely.
And you got a lot of other law agencies, man. You got a lot of other businesses here like Tower, Master Lock, that should be involved in this, man. Master Lock is sitting right on 33rd and Center, man.
Right.
33rd and Center. I have all, and listen, man, they can get at me whatever they want. I'm good with this, man, because you a multi-million-dollar agency over there, a business. How many people from our community work over there?
Used to.
How many people from that community got a job there?
Ever since they did them layoffs, in the 90s or early 2000s.
You know what I'm saying? Okay, you ain't gonna hire them. You know they kids go to this school over here that you in this district. Yeah. I learned one thing from being around the aldermen. These businesses, they supposed to support the local schools.
Absolutely.
What have Master Lock? You got Tower. And I ain't gonna get to preaching on some of these other ones, man.
Yeah, they here.
You know what I'm saying? And you right in this community.
We don't see no banners in the school, fam. We don't see no nothing. We don't see no partnerships, fam.
Come on, man.
Everything is somewhere else. Let me get that one over there, Roz. I'm gonna shut that one down. Yo, shout out to everybody on Facebook that watched and tuned in. You want to see the rest of it? You can listen on confidenceintheclutch.podbean.com, wherever you listen to your podcast at. Watch the show on YouTube, whatever you got to do, yo. But We running right back into it. So I'm gonna get Brother Riles out of here in a little bit. Riles, I'm gonna say bougie black parents. How we deal with them? That I'm gonna give you bougie black parents. I'm gonna tell you mine. Their daughters can't do no wrong. Their daughters going to WNBA. It's my fault. They ain't shining. Whatever. The bougie black parents who we can't do this. You better not yell at my baby, thinking that coaching is yelling. That ain't what coaching is. But if your baby make a mistake and it's a high level moment in the game, I'm gonna have to get at them. So bougie black parents that if we take their kids out the game is always some. Why we doing that? Well, what's going on?
Handicapping our kids.
Absolutely.
We handicapping them. If we can't get somebody underneath them to light the fire when they are supposed to be held to a higher expectation and they not being held accountable by their parents, they not being held accountable by themselves, that's a problem.
That's a problem. That's a problem for life.
That's a problem, yes.
It's a problem for life. They don't understand what they're doing with their children.
Really, sports is supposed to be the best teacher for life. When you talk about punctuality, sports teaches that. When you teach them to work with others, it teaches you that. When you teach them to have a plan, it teaches them that. Sports is the best teacher to life. And when you don't allow these kids to be teach and go through the grinds, the ups and downs through this sport that they playing, you cheating your child, man.
Absolutely.
You cheating them.
What the hell is that? That's my son. He's always doing something. Is AAU running high school basketball?
Absolutely. Absolutely, man. I mean, you could tell, man, like kids right now, they'd rather not play high school ball than play AAU. But this is the disheartening part about it, man. Like, you got these shoe companies, man. And you'd rather go in and give all this money to start a program that you don't even know if it's going to be legit or not.
Right.
What I mean by legit is kids get selected to play to these teams.
Right.
You know, and these kids go out and play. I give you this money. It should be under the pretense that you're going to bring a product out here that I can recruit.
Right.
Or I could use as in the future if they make it, you know, as marketing.
Right.
AAU have, to me, lost their integrity. Because they tell the companies that they're going to do all this stuff. But I have been out on the AAU circuit. I started on the AAU circuit, and I have seen so many kids go play in front of big time coaches that don't have no grades.
Okay.
Don't have no grades whatsoever. Why are we marketing them to high major Division I scholarships and all that if those kids don't have the grades? You know, when we was growing up, Rick Cobb and them, it was AAU.
Right. Now it's traveling team.
It's grassroots.
Yeah.
You know, AAU have those type of requirements. We used to have to turn in report cards and stuff. You know?
Yeah.
They don't monitor kids' grades.
No.
I barely see, you know, I ain't trying to put nobody down. Not like they were putting nobody out there like that. But I would love to see more AAU coaches in the building checking on their kids.
Yeah.
You know, as opposed to coming up there complaining about when they not playing in the game.
Right. What about having tutoring sessions on Saturday mornings? The problem is here though. Don't nobody own no buildings hardly neither like that where you could have the classroom set up that you could have tutors in the morning.
You got the neighborhood centers. Neighborhood centers are open.
Right.
They tied to AAU programs.
Right. But is they doing that on Saturday mornings?
You know, the schools are open on Saturdays. They got Twilight CLC.
Yeah.
Why can't we have it? The biggest thing is if you sitting up here knowing these kids are struggling and all this stuff, why don't you have tutoring and ACT preparatory for these kids set up? Especially if you know you are promoting to sell them to these high market colleges.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Come on, you take college tours and your kids sit up and see the basic requirement entry is a 20, a 22, a 3.2. And then you sit up here and you let the teacher send you emails and all this stuff and about the kid not doing this or that and this, and you don't do nothing.
Nothing.
The parents don't do nothing.
Nothing.
You know, and then they'll pay $1,500 for them to go travel. But then they best words that they could come up with when their kid is failing is the coach can't coach. He ain't doing his job. But that's why I said it goes back to, this ain't got nothing to do with coaching. It ain't got nothing to do with the district. This is parenting.
Right.
What morals, what values,
right,
discipline, structure, respect that you put into your kid.
Absolutely.
You, the parent, you birthed them.
Right.
You carried them 9 months or you gave her what she needed to create that baby. Where are you at? And holding that child accountable. But you gonna hold the coach, the district, the teacher when you won't hold yourself?
Man.
Come on, man.
Never. So
come on, man.
We know we got a big transfer rule in Wisconsin. What's the solution?
I think these is amateurs, man. There shouldn't even be no transfer rules.
There shouldn't be no transfer rules.
I really like this. Is what I feel like it should be some stipulations put in there.
Right.
Like when we were growing up, what was it, 30 days? You had to sit out 30 days. You know what I'm saying? These amateurs, they're not getting paid no money.
They ain't getting paid no money.
You know what I'm saying? Who's to care? Like, I think they get so crazy with this stuff, man. People be saying, well, down in the city, they get all the talent, and we don't want them to stack their team.
Right. But what they don't understand,
What
man.
do you mean stack our team, man? Like, these
understand.
kids are down here.
Right. And parents have situations where they really have to move.
What about in Tulsa? You got 2 schools in Tulsa.
Right.
One of them can stack their team, and you can have a team to compete against us.
Right.
You got 1 school in Cedarburg.
Right.
They get all the talent.
Right.
So what you mean?
Right. It's just perception.
Our talent is getting shifted around to different schools. So I just feel like this as a minor, the parent is entitled to me, is in charge by law of that child decisions.
Right.
How is it now that because this kid is being governed under this type of organization that they make my decisions for my child's life?
Yeah, dying.
And think about it, when them ADs all go meet, man, and they make, let me dispel this, man. A lot of people got a lot of gripes against the WIAA.
Right.
It ain't the WIA make these rules, man. People need to stop this stuff, man. It ain't the WIA.
Right,
they ain't sitting up there making these rules. What happened is the ADs vote on these rules.
The governing body.
They vote on them, man.
Absolutely.
And what happens is the WIAA enforces them when they've been broken. So if you don't want these rules, the ADs got to come to grips. But the problem is you got a small district down here.
Right.
In southeastern Wisconsin. And really the suburban cities that's attached to Milwaukee, they against Milwaukee. They go vote with the people up north.
Absolutely.
They vote whatever the people up north say instead of understanding we are ours down here. We have to, you know what I'm saying?
They don't understand that people up north don't like y'all either. Y'all southeastern Wisconsin, y'all tied
we play at a faster pace. Why you think they ain't put the shot clock in?
Yeah, they don't want to do that.
That changes the game. Man, they hated Diener for that style of play did, because you know why? If I get the lead, your team ain't good enough to come get the ball from me.
Absolutely not.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely
So
not.
they trying to eliminate Diener with holding the ball, that stuff.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All this stuff, man, like, Diener was smart. That's why the mind going to work under him.
Right.
They can say what they want, man. That dude is basketball genius.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? He understands basketball.
Right.
And
right.
then, and like, guys too. Yeah. Basketball genius. These basketball guys, man, they understand it.
Right.
But like, we was taking a lot of scholarships from kids. Mm-hmm. Somebody want this dude who an athlete better than this dude who just, don't turn the ball over, run an offense.
Right.
Right. I think what kind of crippled our state too, man, is like, it was a gift and a curse. Stevens Point had Bo Ryan. Wisconsin had Dick Bennett. Green Bay had Dick Bennett. And they ran that flex style offense, man. And they had a lot of success with it. The state embraced it. The high schools embraced it. And that was the look that they wanted us to be looked upon as the Dick Bennett.
Yeah.
But when you talk about athletes, guys who are skilled, that don't work for them.
No.
That's why we can't get a lot of our talent to stay home right now. Because, man, listen, Greg Gard is a good MF and coach up there, dog. Real talk. Real talk.
Right.
But the style ain't fitting the type of kids that's growing up right now.
Absolutely. No.
So should Greg really have all them kids? Yes, he should. Why he not getting them?
Yeah.
It's the style, man.
And once again, if we know that's what it is, like I tried to run a flex, it worked, but you got to have guards that can think. You got to have players that can think.
The flex is a limited offense,
It's
man.
limited.
It limited your dribbling. You know what I'm saying?
It's about ball moving and where them screens coming, and like you can really. It's just that preference thing. But yeah, that's not going to get the JPs and the Loonies up in Madison. That ain't gonna get them up there. That ain't gonna get them up there. All right, Ryle. What would an older maturity?
Ain't gonna get the Michael Fosters.
No, ain't gonna get the Michael Fosters.
Ain't gonna get the Trey Whites.
They're not going up there.
No, man. They
ain't going
could
there.
because
could.
really the coaches, staff, and all that.
Right.
But they gotta tweak the system a little bit. Let these dudes have some freedom, man.
You got to change your system to the players that come in your program. You can't.
Yeah.
You could run. This is what we do. This is what we do. This is what we run. But it got to be able to.
Like you said, change.
Yeah,
Like I like man to man, but I'm gonna throw a zone in there for maybe a minute or two to throw them off. You know what I'm saying? I can't run this off. And I think that's why Houston got beat in the playoffs. Never made no
change,
adjustments.
You can't run that. This is why we in trouble tonight.
Sure is. We ain't
We
making
in
no
a
adjustments,
whole lot
man.
of trouble. But Giannis, all you gotta do is watch this Toronto series. Everything you did wrong, that's what you gotta fix.
Hey, Boonheiser, Coach B.
Great coach.
Oh man,
Great coach. But I mean, your superstar is limited. That's what it's showing. Your
but I
superstar
think
is
what
limited.
he could tweak just a little bit. They are right now knowing Giannis bringing that ball up in that 5-out offense.
Yes.
They know he bring it up from the side or from the top.
Yeah.
All they doing is collapsing on us.
Yeah.
They collapsing and saying, Giannis, you gonna run us over?
Yeah.
Or we ain't worried about you kicking it out to them
Right,
because
'cause they
their
ain't
shots
shooting
ain't
well. They
falling
ain't
right
shooting
now.
well.
You know what I'm saying? So they loading up on Giannis, man.
Yeah.
I think what Coach B could do to offset some of this stuff, man, start Giannis decoying for a little bit, have him set a couple of screens.
Absolutely.
And then flash him 12
Absolutely.
feet. Flash
Absolutely.
him elbow where he can go to work before the double team can get there. But if I just come down straight down, they collapsing on me. But now if I set a screen here for Middleton, I go set a screen there for Brogdon, then I flash as, you know what I'm saying?
And you got all that mid-range, short corner
You
area to
too
work
busy
with.
chasing him out that you can't double me. You
Yeah.
chasing the second screen out, you can't double me.
Yeah.
Boom, I got one-on-one action right here. Because can't none of them guard him one-on-one.
And why he can't get a screen and end up on the block? Why he can't end up on the block? I mean,
Well, that's the adjustment I'm looking for Coach to make in this game.
I'm just
Man, he get paid the big bucks. I'm pretty
Right.
sure he's thinking of this stuff.
Right.
It's just if he's gonna do it. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
I hope they make the adjustment, man.
Right.
And the biggest thing too, man. You know, Brogdon was a starter.
yeah,
You know, he got hurt.
right.
The team went on a good run, man.
Yeah.
They closed out the season right, man.
Yeah.
Even though Brogdon is your starter, right now Bledsoe's struggling.
Right.
Keep Bledsoe in the lineup. Keep you some firepower coming off the bench.
He need that.
You know what I'm
He
saying?
need
So
this,
if
yeah.
Bledsoe ain't going, you could, you got George Hill coming off.
Right.
You got Brogdon coming off.
Right.
You got what's my other boy?
You know what we need? Look, Ross, because I got to do another pod after this. And I'm just talking about the Buzz gang. That's down there shit. That's down there what need to happen. But I'm
Get back
hearing
to
you about
business.
this. No. I'm hearing about it. That's what I'm saying. If we had more time, our show would have been stick to just have you on that one too. But
I'm
like you
open.
said,
I'm open for the man. They come get me.
everything revolves around. We have something coming off that bench, and when you put Brogdon in, that took away our bench production.
Sure
That's
did.
why Van Vliet looked like he was killing. But if we had Brogdon coming in to offset that, this what it's because Bledsoe just ain't making his shots. Bledsoe is like it's like he don't want to get to the hole as much as he need to, and then he missing, and then he's shooting these tray balls. You see, you really don't want to shoot them, but he got to because he open. When you second guess yourself, you always gonna trick that shot. So it's all that.
Two other elements hurting him. Over dribbling.
And Middleton only averaging 12 points.
When you get a
All
dude
that.
step that leg
Yeah.
and he go this way,
Yeah.
you did your job. Kick
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
They was doing that all season long. That's why we was whooping teams.
Yeah.
Right now, these last 3 games, they've been forcing it with their dribbling. That's
Yeah.
why Toronto been able to, hands been active, tipping
Yeah.
the ball away, taking it away from them, stuff like that.
Absolutely.
They got to get back to as soon as dude commit, kick it.
Kick it. That's
Kick
right.
it right away where they could take the relaxed shot. And then
right.
the second thing I was saying, third thing was they get out hustled 50-50 balls.
50-50 balls turn
And I
80-20.
saw Chris Middleton getting paid 80-something million, whatever he getting paid. That last game at the Bradley Center, he stood right in the middle of the rim, right in the paint, in front of the middle of the rim.
Yeah.
And I saw Lopez trying to box out Gasol.
Right.
And Gasol get the rebound.
Right.
But if you go back and watch the tape, Middleton was right there. He should have got that rebound.
50-50
but his
balls,
reaction was
man.
like this instead of going to get the rebound.
Right.
And I think that kind of, that type of players was hurting us. They got to take better pride in their defense. They got to share the ball a lot more, like kick it, don't over dribble.
Right.
And we got to win them 50-50 balls, man.
Absolutely. What would an older, mature you tell a younger you right now?
Don't get so caught up. Well, I'm telling myself this stuff. Don't get so caught up in people's opinions.
Good.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody going to have an opinion. But what they eat don't make you
Absolutely.
crap.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It's, everybody entitled to their opinion, First
Absolutely.
Amendment.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So I ain't knocking you for your opinion. Your for your opinion.
Right.
But one thing I want to tell people this, man. Like one thing I heard people say, KG say this. You got to voice your opinion tastefully.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, you could bring some negativeness to you. Mm-hmm. And all you want to do is just make a point.
That's it.
But the way you brought it across, it created more problems for you than what it should have.
Yeah.
So only thing advice I give to people It's like, you know, be more humble in your approach towards people. Speak your mind. Speak your mind, but be more humble in the approach,
Absolutely.
man, because people respect honesty, but they can't see the honesty if you come in disrespectful.
Absolutely.
know
That's
what
what I
I'm
had to
saying?
learn, because when you say something to this mic, this out here forever, right? When I post a video, this out here forever. So you got to be careful. I'm going to be me, but you got to be careful because you can't take it back. I mean, it's so
Okay.
easily to parse words, and they don't know the whole conversation. It turns into a hot take or a sound bite, then it is what it is.
Yep.
So it is what it is.
Practice. We
Right.
talking practice.
Practice, right. Exactly. But they ain't going to say he was talking about his homeboy just got
Just
killed.
got killed,
You know what I'm
right.
saying? They ain't going to say that
Right.
part. Your favorite basketball shoe to play in?
Ooh, man.
Yeah, now we getting into these quick preferences right fast. I done had, Rouse, you know we've been on here
Ooh, man.
2 hours right now almost.
I played in the Zooms.
Okay.
The Jason kids.
Yeah.
But I like any light shoe, like a
light
cross
shoe.
training shoe, man,
Okay.
because I was quick, man.
Yeah.
But any light shoe, man. But Nike, it's gonna be a Nike.
Okay. All right, what's your favorite Jordan?
The threes.
The threes? Yeah, them nice. Them nice. All right. Your top 5 NBA all time.
5 players.
5 players.
Ooh,
We ain't
man,
doing
I
Mount
had this.
Rushmore.
I had
give
this
you
battle
5.
all the time.
Let's go.
And I know it's going to sound crazy to a lot of people, but man, this is where I'm at. People gonna say why Durant ain't on there.
Okay.
You know why some of these dudes, man.
Okay.
Listen, Magic,
Yep.